Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Happy Fine Friday, everybody. I think I say that a lot, don't I? Happy Fine Friday, or something about you're having a fine Friday. I think I do that. I just now realized because I always say Woo Woo Wednesday. I didn't realize I had a thing for Friday, and I don't think I do it every time though, because it doesn't feel like I do that every time. But I just noticed that. Random, weird. Hope you're all having a fine Friday so far, everybody. We're going to get into it very soon. I don't have a lot planned today. We're just going to see what happens. We're going to do, though, I might talk a little bit about the astrology. There's a couple things I noticed. I didn't fully look into the astrology because I'm trying personally just not to follow astrology so much. But yet at the same time, I like to know what the matrix is trying to throw at us or constrain us into so that I can look over here instead of over here where they're trying to point us. So I guess keeping tabs with astrology in that regard is good. But since this whole I am, revelation that I've had and switching time, being able to hop timelines, there's even something I started doing since I saw you guys last, just on Wednesday, that is, I guess, in my opinion and a couple of people on my other job's opinion, taking my work to the next level just a bit. And that is setting the intention, not only to connect to your true spirit, but not only that, but also connecting to your most optimal timeline to put you in alignment with your most optimal timeline. So that's always a good thing because there are always a multitude of timelines available for us in any now moment. And we're going to tune into the energies of your optimal timeline according to where you're at now, for your highest good. I mean, we're always tuning in for your highest good, but the reading will help get you on that timeline. That's the intention I'm setting anyway. So just FYI for future reference. But yes, 21 Pilots. I guess I went to 3 concerts yesterday. Wrigley's Christmas program was during the day, which was very fun and very cute. It's always cool to see the kids do their little hand movements with the songs. It's very fun. And then Boston surprised us all. He let us know nothing about what was actually going on at his concert, but he was voted. The teacher asked them, after everybody learned their parts and everything, the teacher asked them, I would like all of you guys here in the 8th grade, there's 2 classes of 8th grade because it's a pretty big class, 2 8th grade band classes, but to vote somebody to be the narrator, and it's a big job, so someone you really respect and somebody who you trust to deliver a really good thing. So this music really packs a punch because you guys have been working hard on it. So this has got to be someone you trust and someone you know is going to take care of business. And they voted for Boston. And me just kind of, I guess, because I know him, I would say, yeah, he would probably do it. But the nerve part of it, getting the nerve to stand up in front of all those people and the peers. I mean, the peers, I think, are the hardest part. The parents, whatever, who cares? But just seeing a group of people with all their eyes on you is I've been there before, and it's not an easy place to be, when you're singing or speaking in public at school events. It can be a little challenging, but he was a little nervous, but he pulled it off, and it was so fun. And it was a Christmas carol. They did, oh gosh, I can't remember the arrangement of I think it's a newer one. But he was so he was very dramatic with his voice, and I mean, he is a Leo ascendant, but he usually saves that part of himself for his really close friends or family. Just the general public usually doesn't get to see that side of him. He's very one word, not always, but one word answers. He's always get a big smile on his face and stuff, but usually he's more reserved around people he doesn't know. But he stepped into the spotlight last night. It was really, really cool to see. And as I'm after the concert, sending my mom the video and talking about what all was going on. I saw the 21 Pilots were performing at the Game Awards last night, so of course I had to watch that. And if you can see mine and Brandy Lynn's chat here earlier, I think my soul left my body when I heard Tyler's 3-note scream, very controlled scream though. It's not that really grating on your nerves kind of scream, very controlled scream that just had so much raw emotion. And he did write the song in honor of his Nana, Nancy Joseph, his grandmother, that passed away not too long ago. But then, after the line dropped 19 days ago, his grandfather on his mom's side died, and he was also very close to him, and he was such a big supporter of everything Tyler does. So that, he just passed away like days. I'm not sure on the day. I didn't get that info, but it's been within the last like 3 or 4 days. His grandfather passed away. So someone he was also very close to. So the emotions were real. It was raw. It was a beautiful. So if you want to search for it, just to have a good song to listen to, I have chills just thinking about it. I mean, there's so much emotion and love put into his performance last night. I mean, even on the original, absolutely. But last night he ascended it to the next level. Oh, that was amazing. I wished I could have seen it live. I mean, just to say that I was there, online. But Brandy Lynn has that honor, which is so cool. Yeah, I think I remember them talking, not 21 Pilots, but my little clique group. They call them the Skeleton Clique. That's like the fan base for 21 Pilots. And I'm very on the periphery. I don't participate daily in every little thing 21 Pilots, but I am a pretty big super fan. You guys know me. But I'm not like obsessive about it. It's more to me about what it means to me rather than the people themselves. Does that make sense? Like, if I had a chance to meet them, it wouldn't be like I'd turn it down, but I'm not obsessed with Tyler and Josh the way some people are in the fandom, just absolutely obsessed about them. But it's just, I guess the vibe that they create and the music is what I'm obsessed with, I guess. But I can absolutely love and respect and appreciate the people that they are as well, without that weird like obsession thing that can come, which I did have a lot of that weird obsession stuff with like boy bands in the 90s because, teenage girl, hormones raging, fun things. I've suppressed all of that or just transmuted all of that since then. But anywho, it was amazing. So if you want to search for this, it's called The Line Live Performance at the Game Awards. You can just Google that or go on YouTube. There's quite a bit of posts about it already that you can watch. Amazing. I've already listened to it like on repeat between calls at my other job this morning and in the car with Wrigley. Like he had tears in his eyes at the scream part because that's like our thing, but for the whole fandom, like Tyler screaming, like anytime a new album drops, everybody's like anticipating like how many screams there will be, which songs the screams, we like almost like, I don't know, it's not like statistics based, but we're just like guessing or surmising like what's going on. The line itself before that performance was already outdoing like 65% of the Clancy album. The album is named Clancy, that's why. Clancy album that just dropped in, just dropped. It feels like it just dropped because it's still very new, but it was in February going into March of this year. So it's still new this year, but I can't believe it's already been that long. It feels like we just got that album. It's wow, like 6, 7, 8 months ago now. Wow. How does time go by so fast? It's crazy. But yeah, that song is out playing on Spotify just in 19 days since it dropped as of yesterday. So 20 days now. It's already at like 35 plus or 37 plus million streams on, I think it was Spotify. I don't have Spotify, or I'd help them out over there, but I don't have Spotify. Amazing song. Just all in all, such a multi-layered, multifaceted message within the song. And then just knowing he wrote it in memory of his grandmother, who he was there for when she passed away. And I already talked about this on another live stream the day that it dropped, but I was there when my maternal grandmother, the one I was the closest to, I was there when she passed away as well. And yeah, it's like a very raw thing. It's beautiful, it's sad, it's bittersweet, it's so many things wrapped up into one. And to think, this was something that on the way home, because I left the day, I was already kind of past my stay up in Libby because it was kind of a difficult time just with all the sports going on and stuff in the fall for the kids in October of 2020. When I went up there on the 16th, which was Ryan's birthday, my husband's birthday. And I anticipated she'd probably pass away within the day or two that I was up there, but she actually made it till October 20th. So I was up there 4 days, and I just kind of set that intention that, whenever she does pass, I'll go home that day or whatever. But the whole way home, I'm just like, how surreal to know that my whole life, my grandma was like another parent to me, because my mom was a single mom and my dad lived out of town, but my grandma was like kind of that second, third parent. If a lot of times I was kind of the other parent as well, but to me, my grandma was like another parent to me. So it was it was weird, and it's like all my life, I never knew that I would be there the moment she took her last breath. Like, that just kept going through my mind. It's just such a weird thing to wrap your head around as, you literally energetically just watched her body or soul leave her body. It was just such a weird and surreal experience, but also beautiful, also really sad, also like just so many emotions all wrapped into it. But just this sense of just like relief that she was able to finally not be in pain anymore, because she had a long battle with all sorts of different cancers, and she had something called phlebitis. I think that's how you pronounce it. Where ever since before I was born, her left foot would swell up, and then it would start like oozing. It was like an open sore my whole life. Her whole left foot, from toes all the way up till like mid calf. Gross, I know, but she struggled with that on and off, where it'd flare up, or it'd just be more itchy and scaly, but then it'd really flare up, and it'd be like bleeding and gushing and just gross. But she struggled with that my whole life for almost 38 years that I was alive and she was alive at the same time. But she really had a hard life. So, I mean, to me, it was such a relief that she did get to pass, I guess, as peacefully as one can in a hospital setting, all doped up on whatever it is that they keep, the good drugs, as they say. But man, it was hard. It was hard. But looking back, I'm so glad I was able to be part of that experience. Just to, as someone who could feel more than a lot of people, I could feel, and I had heard a tone in my left ear. It was just a really low, like the lowest note that I can't even get my voice to go that low, but it was very deep and hollow, ringing in my ear, but a very low pitch, especially on the left side. And then I felt this draft of cold air come in, and within probably 10 minutes of that, she did pass away. So I'm wondering if that was some sort of whatever to get her to pass. I don't know, for good or for bad, because I'd have to tune into the energy of it. Because at the time, I was still believing in such a way that, the light is a good thing, and this is benevolent. And, my feelings have changed slightly since, but who knows? All right, you guys, I mixed this up, so now we're having some reversals in here, but I think we're just gonna roll with it for today. Yeah, I don't think we have any donations thus far, but I should probably go over to my email, make sure we are caught up on our donation list. Oh, wrong email. Wrong email. Okay, this email. Okay, I understand. It's trying to protect me from my own mail, so yes, take me there anyway. Take me. This is what I get for restarting the computer not long before starting the live stream. Come on, I understand the risk. Take me where I want to go. Email. Let's do it. Yes, resend it. Let's do this thing. Come on. You got this. Come on. It looks like we're all caught up. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything stand out, but I just checked my email this morning. I already have like 20 new emails. So and yes, I know Marlene had sent me an email and I said I was going to get back to you. I am going to get back to you. And Amber also sent me an email, which I will get back to between today and tomorrow. We're running really behind on all of our fun holiday stuff. It is the 13th today? Friday the 13th, y'all. It's Friday the 13th. And we still haven't put our Christmas tree up. And normally it's up by about the 11th. So we're not that far behind normal, but still it's, how many days do we get to enjoy it? Not as many. And weird fun fact, I guess it's not that fun. We're going to have to put our Christmas tree upstairs right out here, because this big table that Ryan's parents gave us, they were going to get rid of it. And I'm like, ooh, I'll take it. And it's kind of become like my downstairs altar. And I've increased my plant baby collection this year by probably half. So there's just plants for days in the living room, and this big altar table, and this big dresser where we store all the like games and cards and pens and craft supplies and stuff. So there's really and it's heavy. To even try to scoot it on the carpet, you just can't, unless there's like probably 3 people helping. But I'm like, and we have this huge sectional couch that's like not even put together properly because it's too big for our living room. So we're like at capacity down there. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. Should we just not do the tree? But then that feels like we're missing out on something. And my husband's like, let's just put it up in the landing. So we're going to clear out the old drum kit, the treadmill, I think, all the things that are up here that just don't need to be up here. And it's a very small landing. So we're going to make it work. So we're going to do that, and we still haven't done our whole Christmas light tour around town and all that. So we're going to be doing that this weekend, and I'm going to catch up on emails and all of the fun things. So yes. All right, enough announcements. I think we've hit all the announcements. So if you are looking to have a question answered today, you can always send a donation and I will take care of your question today. And because I do have a couple other things I do want to catch up on, and I might actually have some time to log in over at my other job, make a little bit of money, we might just do the collective reading and then take care of any donations. And if there are no donations, we might just end this one a little early after the collective reading. And then Wednesday, we'll continue back with our Cosmic Question Corner and our giveaway / drawing. But at any rate, we're still doing our collective reading, which I'm going to timestamp. And that's something I want to do. I want to get all the cosmic questions and do like a nice custom thumbnail kind of pertaining to each cosmic question. I think I've already added them all to a playlist. I could be wrong about that though. Maybe I thought I did that and just didn't do it. Someone might want to check my work on that, but I'm going to make myself a note somewhere I'm not going to forget with my notes from this book. This is amazing. I haven't gotten any farther than the last time I showed you guys because life has been so busy during the week, just working. Another job has been like completely taking up my day, but my evenings are still my own, which is good for the most part. But this week was busy because we had all sorts of stuff going on with school events and then the concerts and fun things. But I'm going to leave myself a note to Cosmic Questions playlist and thumbnails and just get all of that up to date. So and then that'll be a more fun way, like if you ever want to go back and and I'm going to change the title of the video instead of it saying, free one card pull to start, my normal whatever. I will put whatever the cosmic question was as the title. So it'll be really easy to know what you're looking for. And of course, I'll also pin the timestamp as the top comment as well. Playlist and thumbnails. So we have an event for Wrigley on Sunday and Saturday. He's been Mr. Popularity, going to all the parties, all the birthday parties, all the fun events. There's a Taekwondo studio here in town that one of his really good friends is part of, that once a year they have like a Christmas themed movie night. They're doing that again. So it's like a 3-hour thing for them. And he's got that Saturday, and then Sunday he has another. It's his friend's little brother who's not even in kindergarten yet's birthday party, but he just looks up to Wrigley so much. So he invited him to his birthday party. I thought that was so cute. But Wrigley's Mr. Popularity. So we've got all the birthday parties, all the fun things going on with him this weekend. So between me playing chauffeur and getting everyone where they need to be, I'm going to be catching up on some work, playlists, emails, all the things. So that's my goal anyway. No promises, but that's my goal. All right, let's start out. It is Friday the 13th, and I know a lot of people are like, that's a scary day. I have never had better days, really, than like Friday the 13th. They've always been good vibes for me personally. And the number 13, it is the death card. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brandy Lynn. I think you have the death card as one of your birth cards. Is that right? I think yours the Emperor and the death card. Maybe. I think I'm getting that right. I still need to get your candle finished. I have the pieces made for it. I just need to do it and get it sent out. I really, again, and of course Marlene's. I'm working on hers for sure this weekend because they need to go out ASAP. I need to get those out to you ASAP so that they are there on time for your Christmas gift baskets. Okay, so it's an awesome song. I love the song. It's so beautiful. And it probably is trending because I know video games are a pretty big deal. For years they've been a big deal, but I know that I knew there was such thing as like gaming awards, but I didn't know it was as big as this whole thing is. I don't think I've ever watched it to know, but how cool. How cool to be part of that opportunity for our boys, 21 Pilots. They actually were part of the Suicide Squad movie, the first one. They had the song Heathens, which is how a lot of people know who they even are, is because of the song Heathens. And a lot of people know the song Stressed Out from their Blurry Face album. That's the song. I heard that on the radio and I'm like, who are these guys? I need to know their whole backlist because I love this vibe. A lot of people, they've heard the song Stressed Out or they've heard the song Heathens, but all the other songs are like, I've never heard of that. You're missing out. They're so spiritually attuned and connected. It's not even funny. And I love that. It's like they're like a mole, like inside the industry, spreading truth in ways that just feel like songs, you know? I love that about them. Yeah, I've done so many readings on their energy, and it's still coming up that they are like spiritually aligned. They haven't done any of the, stuff. You know what I'm saying? All the symbols and hand movement. Although there's a lot of ritualistic things in the music, but it's different. It hits different than a lot of these like full on like satanic rituals that these people are performing at the Super Bowl and stuff like that. This is him trying to like get the word out about these things going on behind the scenes. It's crazy. Okay, enough about 21 Pilots, enough about me. Let me get into a bit of the astrology as we kind of pull cards, kind of, do my thing where I'm not doing the non-linear storytelling way. I think you guys that are my regulars here, you've gotten used to it over the years and you're just like, yeah, whatever. So Mercury went direct tomorrow. Went direct. I'm already living in the future, you guys. I swear to God. I keep thinking it already went direct, but no, it's the 14th, but on the 15th, kind of on the other side of the world. So it's still going to be in its weird little shadow period through December 31st. But this is the first year since 2022. We're actually starting the new year not in a Mercury retrograde or shadow period of a Mercury retrograde. So I wish I had the applause button. Yay! Yeah. That was horrible. You know what I'm trying to say, but we're going to actually hit the ground running, energetically speaking, as of January 1st. Even though to me, it personally still doesn't feel like New Year, there still is a vibe about it because so many people celebrate that as a new year, new energy, new you who dis kind of vibe. And I do like to participate in that regard as far as setting the year and just seeing what I can expect. So I probably am going to do my, as Brandy Lynn, I think she's already done hers where you pull a card for each month and just kind of see what you're expecting. I totally fell off the wagon of my writing, which I think probably shows if I go back and look at the cards I pulled for that. It shows, I'm sure. I need to get back to that so bad. I really do. It's just trying to let the dust settle with the work, the job, all the things. And Mercury going direct is going to help me do that, I think, because I'm in Mercury Mahadasha. So this has been quite the whirlwind. And my natal Mercury is in the 8th house. So ups, downs, all over. I'm scattered all over the place. But when it's up, it's up. And when it's down, it's down. But the good thing about the 8th house is you're digging to the depths. You are researching like crazy. Like as much as it's given me grief through the years, I actually love having my Mercury in Taurus in the 8th house. I love that. You could have asked me 15 years ago, I'm like flipping you the bird because no, I hated that, but now I love it. Now I love it. All right, enough about me. Again, Mercury's going retrograde, or it's still retrograde right now, going direct. We're in the shadow period. And it is in Scorpio in sidereal Vedic astrology. It is in Sagittarius, I do believe, in Western. Someone can correct me on that if that's not the case. Sometimes they're in the same sign if they overlap. Like if the sidereal or Vedic placement is before like 4 degrees, they can be in the same sign. But if you were to look up into the sky and try to see Mercury, you can't because it's too close to the sun to see it. But if there were a way, you would see that it was actually placed in sidereal Scorpio. Like if you're looking, it's in the constellation of Scorpio if you look in the sky. So that's kind of how I decide which one works for me better. I don't know. But they both are very accurate. That's the crazy thing. They both work. And how I see Vedic astrology is it's more who you're stepping into, or more like in alignment with like a soul or a spiritual blueprint for how you're leveling up. And tropical astrology to me feels like, telling you how to get through this matrix game, or, hacks to work the matrix. Like that's how I've personally interpreted it. So they both work amazingly for me for different reasons and in different ways. So Uranus also is going no, it's not going direct. It's still retrograde, but in Vedic sidereal astrology, it's now transitioning from Taurus back into Aries. And for you Western lovers out there, it's went from Gemini back into Taurus a while ago. I think. Or maybe it's still in Taurus. Again, I didn't check the exact degrees to be able to know what that looks like, but I think Brandy Lynn follows Western astrology pretty decently close with the transits. I think so. I think you do. I know you've sent me things before and we've talked about that. But yeah, as far as this goes, Uranus usually stays in a sign about every 7 years. It'll switch, but when it goes retrograde, if it's switched recently, it can go back into a sign, and that's what we're going to be experiencing. And going back into the God of War sign, Aries, is kind of troubling. It's going to be in Aries, not retrograde fully the whole time in Aries, but retrograde in Aries till March 17th. So basically, that almost first whole quarter of 2021, we're starting out in this kind of warlike energy, or there's this call for this warlike energy to come in, because Uranus is about stepping outside the box, thinking differently. And it's interesting, as I'm saying thinking, this is lining up. We have like the thinker sculpture on the back of the deck for the Elder of Swords, the King of Swords. So there's Sandy's here. Hi, Sandy. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing well. Happy holiday season. This feels like Trump's energy, to be honest. And you guys know me. I don't like to get political over here, but it feels like there's something very resistant. It's probably coming in January. You know, what all happens in January, the whole inauguration and all the fun things. Love him, hate him, indifferent to him, whatever you feel. There's so much going on. And these feel more archetypal than anything you have to before or against something, just really studying the archetypes of what's going on. And Trump's archetype really is just this like bull in a china shop. Like that's the vibe that's coming through. But I do see his energy being met from those who oppose him, whoever they may be, just really coming up against it. But something's got to give. That's what I keep hearing, is something's got to give. The line is stuck in my head. Yes, Mercury's in Sag. Okay, I figured. But yeah, I love the line. Oh, it's such a good song. If you're wondering what we're talking about, look up The Line. This is the name of the song, by 21 Pilots. Live performance at the Game Awards last night. If you want chills, if you want your soul to leave your body on those screaming high notes at the end, happy early Christmas to you. It's a gift. It's a gift that Tyler and Josh have given humanity. 21 Pilots. Oh, I love it. Okay, I digress. Let's get back to our reading. Yes, Uranus being retrograde till March. It can call. It's calling for volatility. Yeah, it's giving volatility, if we're being honest. But this is the beauty of our little collective here, and just having the awareness, because we are the awareness. You're not your thoughts, you're not your actions, you're not your past, you're not your belief systems, you're not your emotions. You are your awareness. That's who you truly are on a spiritual soul, God level. You are God as awareness through this human vessel right now. If you choose not to have all this degradation and collapsing and horrible stuff going on in your life personally, you can change the game. How is it our little collective? Because this is what's coming for like the collective of like, especially the US, but usually when the US has something going on, the whole world somehow is watching it, or at least has a finger on the pulse of what's going on. And the US likes to put their, and I'm not saying the people of the US, that's a different thing. The government and officials and higher ups of the US like to put their hands in everywhere where they're invited or not invited. So I see a lot of that coming up too, but yes, devil energy. But our little collective here, what can we expect with all of these retrogrades? Of course, Mercury going direct and then going into the new year. We're kind of just getting, I'm still going to do a collective for like what to expect, soon. But I kind of want to just touch into the future a little and just see what we can grasp for our little collective here and how we can overcome these limiting, because they feel like very limiting timelines, and we don't have to participate. You can throw that participation ribbon right back in their face. We're not here for it. Exactly. You choose. You are the rainbow bridge between spirit and earth. So you don't have to just because you see it happening, you can almost treat it like a movie, because all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. So if it's not happening in your 3D actual present moment reality, it does not pertain to you. I know, because I'm just like you guys out there who are curious, or you see a news headline or someone says, "Oh, did you hear about this?" And then of course curiosity got the cat, right? Curiosity got the cat because that's part of the human condition is curiosity and just being very, what's the word, like novelty, the novelty of news, of something new, something you don't know, something you didn't hear yet. There's novelty in that, and the human brain is like fangirling over novelty. I sent Jess I thought this was cute. Speaking of tea, novelty, I sent her this little picture and I thought it was so cute. I'm like, yes. Want some tea? Herbal or verbal? I think that's so cute. Is that not cute? Is that not cute? Why not both? Why not both? Let's do both. I do have my peppermint coffee, which has gone a little cold because I was fasting today, so I couldn't eat until I logged off my other job. So we're getting a late start to our coffee grind today. So, so good. Anyway, I am all over the place today. I apologize, you guys, but I feel this excitement. There's an exciting energy in the air. I hope you're feeling it too, because when you feel that way, not that your feelings are everything, but usually when you're feeling good, you can ride that wave of flow with your awareness, your I am God presence into something that's actually going to serve you. So let's see. Yes, we did get the temperance, and it's almost like a countdown. That's what I keep hearing. And then at the band concert last night, which is not a Christmas song at all, the orchestra, because my son's in the band, but we also were combined up with the orchestra last night for all of 8th grade. They played the Final Countdown, which is not a Christmas song. You wouldn't think, oh, Final Countdown, that's definitely a Christmas. Every other song except Rolling in the Deep. Ooh, there's another sign. It's the Final Countdown, Rolling in the Deep by Adele. They played both of those songs back to back, which are, popular songs, so people know them. So, but you would not expect that at a Christmas concert because they had, I think combined between the orchestra and the band, they had 5 other songs that were all Christmas, like straight up Christmas. But Final Countdown to Rolling in the Deep. I did not put that together last night, but the Final Countdown really stood out to me, but I didn't bridge to also connect to Rolling in the Deep. They did a really beautiful job with it, by the way. But it's like a countdown because this is what the collective is on, but we're like ahead of the game. We're a step ahead or 2 or 10 or however many steps ahead of the game. We do have a donation that came in from Sandy, so just so everyone's aware. Sandy's on the list. All right. What else does our little collective need to know about just these new kind of volatile energies coming in, taking us into the new year? Okay, yes. I love this. I love this so much for us because we are putting it to rest. We're putting a lot of this old stuff to rest, to bed. It doesn't exist in our reality anymore. This feels like very collective, just toxic soup that's been brewing and bubbling over, and just I'm seeing like someone put the pasta in, but it's been boiling for like 8 years. And if you even go like a couple minutes over on pasta, sometimes it can ruin the whole dish. Oh, it's been ruined for years. Like that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. It's just this. It almost feels to me like back in the day, I know they did this in like Celtic traditions, and I'm sure in a lot of like English traditions where there'd just be this like perpetual pot of soup over an open flame, a stove or whatever. And they just add whatever food scraps or whatever meat was available, and it was just this perpetual pot of soup that was always on and, just always going. That's what this feels like. But for some reason, there wasn't a lot of good new stuff going in. There was just bad stuff going in. But our little collective, even if it takes us a bit of time, because time, what is time? Even people who think they understand time, it's so hard to grasp. Because think of it this way, you can be really immersed in something and time is just flying by. The same amount of time you spent watching the clock, hoping work was over, or back in the day, you watching the clock tick above the school door, like ready for this class to be over or ready for the last class of the day to be out so you could go to cheerleading practice or to go hang out with your friends. That was me, I guess. Just watching the clock, and it would take forever for 15 minutes to pass or whatever it was. Jessa says she's here for this. But it was the same chunk of time, that 15 minutes where you were so engaged that time just flew by and you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta hurry because now I'm late for this other thing. Like, what is time? Like, we can't hold it in our hands. We can't taste it, touch it, smell it, hear it, smell it, all the things. We can't. but it's there. It feels like in this realm anyway. Um, it's so weird. It's so weird. So there's something weird with time going on, and you've probably already been feeling this for years, all of you that are here, but especially lately, time has been weird. Weird. Okay. Let's see. Let's let's reel it in a little bit. Let's tune into what's going on kind of in our current energies going into maybe the next week or so, just to see if there's anything we need to be putting our awareness towards or our focus. Because remember, we pay attention. It is a form of currency. Where your attention's going, your energy's flowing, as they say. So what do we need to know, us, our little collective here watching now and on the replay? And of course, if you're watching this in like 2027 or something, hi, I don't know why you're here, time traveler. But hey, if you're watching it then, there's maybe a message here for you. I love this. Okay, what do we need to know? Just keep it back. Keep it moving. I just heard keep it moving. Got to keep the energy. Got to keep it balanced. So if you're feeling really stressed out, it's going to be not only up to you, but like you're taking responsibility for your own self, your own energy. It's going to be your responsibility to really rein it back in or not over give, not overextend your energy, even if it's to your own kids, your own family. Like everyone deserves a break sometimes. Even if you just had a break, if you need another break, don't deny yourself that break because there's a need or a call for you to balance your energy, especially those of you that have been feeling a little off or ill or depressed, sad, anxious, the things we don't like feeling. If you've been feeling this for a minute or even just started feeling this way, of course, then absolutely take extra time out to rest, relax, recuperate, do whatever healing or self-care feels good to you. And speaking of self-care, every time I bring it up, let's just see what's going on. I move stuff around, so okay. Yeah, it's still in the vicinity anyway. Okay, I moved some things around because I probably got 25 new books at the different secondhand stores we went to when my mom was in town. So I had to make room. I still haven't brought them up here, but I kind of shuffled things around. But here's our regular old Complete Guide to Self-Care. I actually got this at a secondhand store as well. There were 2 copies and they looked brand new. I got one. My mom got one. This was a while back. I've had this at least a year. But let's see what self-care could really serve our little collective between now and I'd say this reading's probably lasting us about a week. Okay. Ooh, morning pages. Any kind of journaling, journal prompts. But the morning pages, it's just basically get a pen, get a paper, get a journal, whatever you want to write in or on or with, and write out, maybe some thoughts that are just kind of brain dump, like thoughts that are in your head, just some ideas for your morning pages, just stuff that's rolling around in your head, to-do lists, things you've been pondering or wanting to do more research on, but now's not the time, just writing a little list, or you heard about a really cool book or this cool concept that you want to look into, but now's not the time, write it down. This can help free up your mind. So I feel like what the main message is, just anything that's going to calm your mind down. So writing things out, just getting them out on paper or telling somebody, sometimes just telling a friend, oh, this really crazy thing happened. And not that you're trying to dump your stuff on them, but that's what friends do. I mean, if the friendship is only dump, that's hard. But it's a give and a take and an ebb and a flow. You usually can feel the balance. If you're really tuned into a friend, you can feel the balance and it's fine. But what I see with this is you just being very aware of your thoughts, because you are not your thoughts, but you're the awareness that's viewing or seeing or thinking, not thinking the thoughts, but aware that they're happening. That's what I'm trying to say. And I know some of these concepts can be very out there, hard to grasp, much like time, but there's something going on. It feels like a bombardment with the whole collective right now. And for some reason, I'm tuned into this deck. It's oh my gosh, I always forget the name of this one. It's a really big box that comes in. It's not the the Numinous. Yeah, it's this one. I always forget the name. And yes, I am wearing these very comfy pants with my dress shirt. Because that's how I roll. Okay, the Numinous. I have not used this since my pick a card days. I have personally, yes, but not, I think, on a live stream or anything for a long time. All right, there's a reason. Let's see why. Why do we need, what do we need to know from this deck? What is this mental thoughts, chatter of the mind, something they're throwing at us? 11th house. Wow, we were just talking about friendship a moment ago, But there's also like this group think, because that's another thing. We were talking about Uranus. Uranus rules the natural 11th house if you're looking at the more new system. It's Saturn if you're looking at the more ancient systems. But Uranus wasn't discovered until the 40s, or no, maybe it was before that, 18 something. I can't remember. Someone might know. But since Uranus has been discovered, in Western tropical astrology, it rules the 11th house. But this, to me, feels like AI, hive mind, for the greater good. Screw every single person and what they want. What's for the higher good? Which, sure, the higher good, absolutely, that's amazing. But if it's at the detriment to everybody's personhood or the singularity or the authenticity, there's got to be a better way. Like, that's what I'm seeing. So what this feels like is something they're trying to push forward with, like the hive mind, collective consciousness. I just heard brain mapping. I don't know. We're getting into cosmic questions territory right now. It feels like, yeah, something to do with community, humanity. You can, as I drop it, you can look at the kind of keywords here. Yeah. Something new that because I'm really honing in on the word startup and rebellion. Wow. This is very Uranus retrograde going back into Aries energy. I'm going to pick a clarifier on this. Like, what is it about this community, AI, Uranus, just collective energy? What is it about this we need to know? For us, our little collective, what do we need to know about the greater collective? What is it we need to know? What is it this is pointing out? Yeah, it has something to do with the future. Well, Mercury is in, of course, Sagittarius for you Western lovers out there, but it's going direct in Scorpio for, like, if you were to look up there, that's where it is. So it is going to be an intense and transformative time. But there are going to be a lot of people very obsessed with their own viewpoint. And this is, again, greater collective. This is what we need to be aware of. There's going to be some angry ass people out there. So this is about you every time you leave your house, or even think about leaving your house. Just make sure you're clearing and protecting your energy as much as feels good to you. Like my friend Jessa, Solar Siren here says, ground center shield your energy field. It is your responsibility. No one's going to do it for us unless you're a parent doing that for your children. Absolutely. But, we all have this built-in innate ability to ground, center, and shield, protect our energy, cleanse our energy. And you may feel like, well, I saw this golden flame come down and cleanse my energy, but I don't feel any different. Just you setting that intention, and even if you're not someone who can visualize, because there are people who can't see things in their mind. If you feel it, if you know it, if you hear it somehow, use whatever senses and however your spiritual abilities and strengths come through, use that. And just know that your I am awareness, your consciousness coming through right now and saying, it is as I say it is. My energy is cleared. Anything sticking to me that is not mine must go now. Just you thinking or saying that out loud with your consciousness, with your awareness, makes it so. So you're very powerful, and we've all been told, oh, that's just woo-woo, that doesn't work. You're going to have to hire this healer who's been doing this work for years. No, shut up. All healing is self-healing. So if you want the assistance of a healer, absolutely, that's beautiful, but just be careful. It is a jungle out there. I would say 9 out of every 10 healers out there are just looking to make money. They're not looking for your betterment. So be very careful out there. But you're always going to be your own best healer anyway. You have this innate ability to heal your body heals itself. Like I always say, this is the example, and I'm going to scream it for those in the back. Say you broke your arm or your leg. You go to the emergency room. The doctor sets the bone and puts a cast on it. But then the doctor doesn't follow you home and every 5 seconds is healing your leg. It's healing it. No, the innate intelligence of your I am awareness that runs your body and all the systems in your body is healing you. So you just directing your intention, it's the same thing as you going to the doctor. You intended, I need to get some help. My arm's hanging on by a thread. I need help. You set the intention to go to someone, which could be you in this case, to heal yourself, to clear your own energy. You set the intention and then you took the action, whatever the action is. Sometimes no action is even required because these things are happening in more energetic realms. Sometimes the only action is for you to sit your ass down and allow things to transpire, to be aware, to be present in the moment with your I am, God spark, spirit awareness, to be present and set the intention for whatever it is you're doing. It's that easy, you guys. All these gurus out here, they're not wrong, because what you believe, what you think, you can use that as your roadmap. There are, like I always say, multiple paths up the mountain of life that we're all climbing, right? It's just how you choose. But it can be as easy as you just sitting down and being present with your God spark awareness. Just being present and getting clarity on what it is you're looking to create in your life, what it is you're looking to leave behind. It's really as simple as that, because you're starting this energy, like I'm seeing a snowball rolling down a hill. It all starts in these energetic realms. It's just that last 0.5% of what's considered reality that we can taste, touch, hear, smell, sense in any way. Did I miss a scent? Sense? I think I did. Smell? I think I said that one. Taste, touch, smell, hearing, feeling. Only like 0.5% of what actual reality is are things you can pick up with your senses, your physical senses, or see or hear, right? All the physical senses, you know what those are. But the other 99.5% of reality, we have energetic access to, absolutely, but we can't use our physical senses. Maybe we can use them as an extension of our spiritual senses to sense into it. But for the most part, your imagination is like the wild, wild west of whatever you want to create. And that's something we've all been told is, no, you need to stop playing pretend. You need to get in the real world. Well, the real world, as they say, is only 0.5% of what actually exists in existence. I don't know about you, but I don't like playing that small. I've played small before, but 0.5%, and then you leave the other 99.5% just like, oh, that doesn't exist. It's not real because I can't see it, taste it, touch it, smell it, hear it. If I could just help everyone in the world tune into the awareness that they are the awareness, that everything that actually happens and manifests in life is taking place first and foremost in those realms. And the very last place you see evidence of things actually manifesting is the 0.5% of the physical reality. That would be, I think that'd be a game changer if everyone could understand that on a visceral level. I'm still trying to understand it on a visceral level. So I'm not saying that you and me and our little collective here is special, because, you know, there's conceptualizing something and actually living it. And I dip back and forth because, you know, the programming is real. The brainwashing is real, to where there are times when I'm getting frustrated about something that I forget that I'm God. And I'm sure you guys always forget as well. I mean, it's just, we've been told for so long, there's one God and you got to put your power outside of yourself. And, or, you know, maybe there's multiple gods, but they're the ones with the power. You're just this measly little whatever. But anyway, I digress. I was just trying to soapbox for a minute, I guess. But then we have fifth house with passion. Yes, this is about bringing our passion back. And I love this because the fifth house is directly opposite. You know, Leo is always opposite of that Aquarius energy. Every time you go around the wheel, or the North Indian chart of Vedic astrology, which is one I use, you're going around and around. They never are anywhere except directly opposite. So for us to combat this, all this they're trying to manifest or bring in with our creative life force energy, mind you, they can't do it for themselves. So they had to get us all on board, paying attention, spending our time, our life, doing their work for them. How do we counterbalance all of that? The fifth house. All things artistic, entertaining, creative, childlike, romantic, romanticizing your life. I want you, and I know Jess is going to take this homework. She's going to do it. Next time you walk out to your car, I want to see your best runway catwalk, like strut. I want to see you swagger. I'm going to try it. If I remember, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to swagger right out to my car. Like, I don't care if anyone's watching. Not a lot of activity in the cul-de-sac, so it's fine. That's what we're being asked. Romanticize your walk out from your home or your apartment out to your car. Romanticize the hell out of it. Because you're God having a human experience, and you just realize that. Or you're just realizing it again for the millionth time, like most of us. Because we realize it and then we forget. Then we realize it and we forget. It's like a weird ping pong match. But this is us having fun, spending time with children, going to parties, the type of parties that resonate with you. Because if someone were to tell me I have to go to some, stuffy party where everyone's drinking wine, I would rather not. Thanks. I would rather not. That's not my vibe. So I would rather stay home in bed in my comfy clothes with my heating pad on my feet and be like watching something really cool on YouTube or on TV or hanging out with my family, something more cozy. Not to say I can't go out and have fun, but a stuffy where everybody's like, oh, and then Nigel said that if I were to, I don't care. I don't want it. I don't want it. But yes, romanticize life. Dance like no one's watching. Walk and swagger out to your car, even if people are watching. Like, own that. Own that ish. Do it. That's what we're being asked to do, is just to live from a whole other place. Like, what is she on and can I have some? That's the vibe you're putting out. Especially this next week, but even extended like through March of next year. Like, just own that shit. And yes, I said a bad word. I'm sorry, but own it. Whatever that is for you, because your ish might be different from someone else's ish. So whatever feels like kind of snappy, kind of snarky, kind of feisty, but like in a good way, own it. Because they don't want us to be individuals. They want this hive mind, everybody having the same size lips, same colored hair. They want to try to make everybody look exactly the same. Like you go on any big social media, you'll see everyone's trying to look like everyone else. And then the lines just get really blurred and muddy, and there's no excitement anymore. So stand out. Look at this guy. He's owning it. He's gonna dress how he feels, like. And even if you're not big into like fashion statements, whatever it is for you, be radically different in whatever way that feels good to you. Yes. Okay. So let's just get a couple more cards. I dropped half the deck. Let's get a couple more cards on definitely not getting perfection when you come over here to this live stream. But I like that. I like imperfection myself. So, hey, I'm rolling with it. All right. Closing statements. Let's go to the Money Moves Oracle. What else do we need to know over this next week, especially? Because the struggle's real out there. Yeah. What were we just saying? The duality of the Leo-Aquarius axis that we were just talking about. You can choose. It's about trying to find, the middle ground is like really difficult to find right now. Even in the economy, like the middle class is disappearing at such a rate. It's the us versus them dichotomy coming in hot again. And this cycle has played out since this matrix got here. The us versus them, us versus them. But yeah, do not forget about the dual nature of people and don't lose your vigilance. But this is not your vigilance to prove yourself right or to prove your point or to prove them wrong. This is just about you living your light, living your presence, living your I am awareness, whatever that looks like for you. Anything else we need to know? Well, there's a gift coming in the next week. Doesn't have to be wrapped up with a pretty bow like we see here, but it's a gift of knowledge, a gift of wisdom, a gift of someone taking something off your plate. And no, I'm not talking about those little kids that are like, can I have that last? Thanks, Mom. I didn't even say yes, but there it is. Your guys' kids do that? Mine do that. Although it doesn't make me that mad. I'm just glad that, especially when it's Wrigley, that he's eating, because he usually just wants to eat like 3 different types of food and they're all garbage. So it's like, if I can get him to eat something, yay! Something that's not garbage. Use any opportunities that arise. You will discover new talents that will lead to new opportunities. Just by you living your light, being very aware of your strengths or even your weaknesses. Because sometimes if you have a weakness, but you want it to be a strength, there's a reason you have that desire. So, kind of an example coming to mind, which no person in particular, but just as an example, this feels like a little kid that is trying to play basketball with like older kids. And they're just like, you suck, get out of here. And so the little kid's like, I guess I suck. And he could go his whole rest of his life never playing basketball because a couple kids told him he sucked. Or you could take the other approach. Those kids told me I sucked. Well, I don't suck. I think I'm pretty good. I'm going to keep practicing. And this is usually where people get into duality is they do it because I'm going to show them. I mean, that's a very valid, I guess, motivation, but it's like you're shifting from I'm going to show them to I'm going to show myself. I'm going to prove this to myself, or I just want to get better because I know maybe I suck right now, but I don't think that's always going to be the case. So I'm going to work hard. I'm going to practice. I'm going to, learn things about this, and I'm going to get the best I can. It may not be better than that guy, but I don't care. I want to be the best I can for myself. And then this same little kid, maybe, I don't know, 5 months later, goes back out there and he's just blowing people away with his skills. Not that that's what that's about. We can see that, obviously. There's many movies written about these types of themes we're talking about right now, but it's just about this kid feeling good about himself. And in this example, you're the kid. Whatever basketball or whatever this is. And maybe your motivations have changed because you're just done trying to prove points to other people or impress certain people or, people please in some way. And you're just like, no, I'm doing this for myself. And it feels good. It feels good. It feels so much better when this motivation comes from you just wanting to do it for your own passion, your own purpose, rather than trying to prove someone wrong or prove someone right or show off in some way. It hits different. So yeah. All right. That might be too specific for this to resonate with everybody, but for whatever reason, that's the message that needed to come through today. So I hope it resonated with someone out there. It's resonating with me. It is. So I guess it was a win. Yeah, it's just about stepping out of the duality and just stepping back into your I am awareness and just doing what lights you up, what brings you joy. Stepping away from the things that just feel like you're stuck, you're stagnant, you're caught, you're trapped, you're hooked. This is about taking your power back. All right. Speaking of taking our power back, let's get into Sandy's question. Okay. Sandy says, love ya. Love you too, Sandy. What would you like to know today? Oh, that's amazing. Congrats to him. Yeah, I could tell he was really proud of what he did. Boston at the concert. He was really proud, and I was so proud of him just that he did it. I mean, it was amazing. So fun. I was super shy at that age, but yet that I would have stepped out of my comfort zone to do something at that age. I did a solo my 8th grade year for a choir concert, and I can still remember how bad my hands were shaking during that solo. But I did it. I stood up there and I did it. Oh, yeah, you were eating lunch. Hey, I'm glad you were occupied because that's always fun. I like to multitask. When I'm listening to something, I'm always doing something else. I can. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. There are times I can sit and be very engaged with what I'm doing, but then there are other times I'm like, I can still be super engaged, but it's like a different part of my brain's operating when I'm also like crocheting or doing adult coloring or doing the dishes. I don't know. I get a lot of like downloads when I'm multitasking, even while I'm listening to something. It's interesting. All right. So Sandy, what would you like to know today, my dear? Sorry it took me so long-winded over here to get to the point of our collective reading, which I meant to take a timestamp of and I didn't. So I'm gonna have to go back and do that. Mercury retrograde, still doing its thing. Me too. Yeah, sometimes extra sounds help me focus. If it's too quiet, I've talked about this before, but does anyone remember back in school, especially middle school and high school, I really remember this the most, was especially during the winter, those of you that live in more wintry states, it'd be real quiet, like the teacher would stop talking and say, okay, everybody work on your assignment or whatever, and the heater would be going, but you wouldn't know the heater was going until it kicked off. And then it was just absolute silence, or you'd hear all the scratchiness of people's pencils or something. Like that was like next level. Like that took me out of my focus more than anything. Just absolute quiet, except it would then highlight all the little pencil scratches or people going and, all the little like people's feet tapping on the floor. And then I could not focus on what I had in front of me. But for some reason, if the heater was going to kind of mute out some of that noise, I was focused. If I was interested. there was a lot of stuff I was not interested in school, but I'd have to work hard to. I would always make the grade, so to speak, but I'd have to work a lot harder. But if it's something I was interested in, I'd look up and the bell had already rung and everyone was gone. I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm in another world. All right, Sandy. I don't know if you want just a general or if you had a specific question. Just let me know what you were looking for today. And we're going to get into it for you. Maybe while we're waiting for Sandy's question, I will fix my deck and get everything facing. I do have certain decks, like this one I did kind of create it as a reversal deck for the time being. Because sometimes I do like to have that, but there are a lot of times, like, you know, I might get this Apprentice of Wands and I actually see it as a reversed card. Like in just energetically, I'm like, actually that 10 of Cups doesn't feel very 10 of Cups to me. I think this is supposed to be in reverse. So like, I still read reversals even when I'm reading upright, if does that make sense? Yeah. But sometimes I do like a full-on reversal deck, but today doesn't feel like the day. At least for this deck. I just want to read the way I read. All right. I don't know where Sandy went. I think she's here. I don't think she just did like a drive-by gifting or anything. I mean, she's done that before, which is really amazing, but I want to be able to answer a question for her today if she has one. Boom, boom, boom. All right. 78 cards in a tarot deck. It's going to take a second here to get all these fixed. But at least to those of you that were here for the collective, hopefully you got something out of that. Okay, we're almost there. Boom, boom, boom. One more. We did it. Okay. All right, Sandy. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, without even thinking, I did wear 21 Pilots. This is like custom merch that I ordered this patch. It was from a lady in Ukraine. This was back in 2021. Yeah. September. Well, it was August of 2021 because I made these hats for the boys, but they were iron on patch. This hat, there's two hats. So I have two hats of these. The kids wear them from time to time, but I usually will steal them, steal one or the other of the hats to wear. But it was an iron on patch that didn't work very well. So then I got this fabric glue from, I can't remember, Joann's or somewhere, but it wasn't very strong fabric glue. So like the ear flaps were coming off, but I got this like extra strength fabric glue the other day to like really solidify. Now it's finally like, because before like the ear flaps, like you see it from this side, is like hanging off. I'm like, ah, but this is Ned. He is like in the whole 21 Pilots lore. It's more, I mean, he did make an appearance, let's see, energetically speaking, his horns, because as he feels creative, his horns grow. Speaking of horns, I saw a one-horned, he had like 6 horns or 6 antler like points on one horn and no horn on the other side this morning. And I got to remember what side. So that would have been his left side. So the feminine side, interesting, because the feminine, the does don't have horns. But his left horn was missing, but he had a really beautiful like 6-point antler on the other side. And he was standing in my neighbor's yard this morning. And I've never seen him around unless it's the same big buck I see walking around here all the time, but he missed he's missing a horn for some reason. I wish he'd leave it in my yard. I think that'd be cool. Get some antlers. My sister goes out looking for like shed antlers all the time. I've never had any though myself. But my dad, oh my gosh, growing up, my dad had antlers and horns and animal bodies all over his walls, taxidermy. I'm not really into that, but the shedding of horns is kind of cool, you know, having a deer horn. Sandy, are you still here? I think what I'm going to do is timestamp and just do a general, just in case she had to duck out or something. But I'd say about every once in a while, she does want to answer a specific question or answer to a specific question. But most of the time, Sandy just says general. So I'm going to do a general. We're going to timestamp 104:31 just so we can keep it moving. Sandy. Okay. We've got your timestamp. So we're moving in for Sandy's general reading. What does Sandy need to know, please? Spirit. And this is in alignment with her highest good, her highest timeline, and of course with her true spirit. Setting all our parameters here. What does Sandy need to know? What is it Sandy needs to know? Ooh, there's some clarity coming. So if there's something you're currently confused about or wondering about, you're going to see the truth of a situation, the truth of someone's true colors coming through. This feels about 2 weeks out. Between now and 2 weeks, it can happen really any time over these next 2 weeks. You're getting massive clarity. This can also be like a download, like a big idea, like, oh, I could do this. And then you start taking it the distance. Let's get some further guidance on this Ace of Swords for Sandy. What does she need to know? Apprentice of Wands. Oh, it's interesting because before her reading started, I was like, oh, you might want to read this in reverse. I'm actually getting very funny reversal energy from this. And the Apprentice in this deck, I got to remind myself. Okay, so the Oracle. Yeah, because it's the Elder. I think Apprentice is Page because it's like the Knight of Swords. Let's see. Elder, Oracle, Apprentice. Because normally it's King, Queen, you know what I mean? King, Queen, Knight, Page. But this is a slightly different wording or label. Where's the other? Champion. Okay, yeah. Champion would be Knight. So Apprentice is Page. So Page of Wands. Okay. This is the clarity coming in. So this to me feels like the past energy. This would be like in a reversal. And Apprentice of Wands or Page of Wands is someone who's got a spark of an idea and they're so excited to take off on this idea. Well, in reverse, it's like, I don't have a good idea. I don't know what to do. I feel like maybe I have an idea, but I just don't have the motivation to make it happen. But the fact that this is coming out to clarify, I mean, because I'm really reading this as the past energy. It's going to turn that frown upside down, and you're going to be able to take this idea or lack of ideas. An idea is coming through Sandy, and you're going to have the passion, the motivation, the drive, the desire to move it forward. Because we have Queen of Swords. Speak it into being. Make that dream a reality. Make it happen. Make your wish and then make it happen. This is what's going on for you. So there's something you're going to be able to move forward on, especially around the home. Four of Wands is home energy. Could even be like some like redecorating, reorganizing, restructuring of something around the home. Even if something went wrong around the home, there's maybe repairs that you're doing, even if it was a while back, repairs that are going on or that maybe need done, and you're kind of unsure, well, do I hire someone to do it? Can I do, like, you're getting clarity on some sort of home project, Sandy. And I know you work from home, so there's a lot of projects you're doing at home, but this project feels, it just feels more of a project of the actual home. Oh, it sounds like extra sounds help. Oh, that's funny because I was actually taking this as it sounds like extra focus when you turn the frown upside down. So I'm actually reading something you said earlier, Brandy Lynn, as part of Sandy's reading, is like, if you can turn the frown upside down on this lack of motivation, lack of ideas, and then it comes upright with the clarity of this. This is like, yes, this is like extra, you're extra focused on something now. I like that. I like that. I know that's not how you intended that to be because we were talking about extra sounds to help you focus, but I was reading that different for Sandy's reading, which is very interesting. All right, what else does Sandy need to know? Oh, Ace of Cups and Ten of Pentacles. Wow. So this is like love. This feels like family love or friend that feels like family love. And some sort of, I mean, this can be inheritance. This can be money, stability, security in some way. And correct me if I'm wrong, Sandy, I think you're still living with Kent. This could be something to do with like a will or extra help financially, something to do with being able to be where you're at and stay where you're at. Let's get a clarifier on this. What is this? But I definitely, you know, we're talking home and maybe long-term projects around the home. Having the Ace of Cups here to support that is beautiful. It's like making the dream a reality, making the vision come to life around the home. So there could be not just repairs, but also like decorating, or the aesthetic of the home is shifting or changing to be something more pleasing to the eye, more comfortable, more cozy. You feel better being in the space because it's different. You're changing it, you're shifting it, you're moving it. Where before maybe you felt stuck or trapped or like you didn't have access to this long term. Yeah, because there's this element of longevity to whatever the question is here, or whatever the answer that's coming through to the question that maybe wasn't even asked. It was like a silent question. But you're being able, there could still be some thoughts like, oh, I could never be able to do that, or oh, it's going to cost a lot of money to do that, feeling almost trapped in the home. Because I know this is reading more as like mountains and stuff in the distance, but I'm almost reading this as like being in a cave, which a cave can be, I guess, a very cozy place, but it could also be a very terrifying place, especially for someone who's like claustrophobic or somebody who's afraid that, if there was an earthquake right now, we would all be dead. Like the cave's going to collapse. Like maybe feeling trapped in a way that you're not actually trapped, but like in your mind, you're like, I can see how I could feel trapped because this is going on, or I don't have this income, or something about feeling left out or trapped. But it's not actually true. It's just like thinking. And a lot of times our thoughts can lie to us. Like lies. Literal lies. Lying, cheating, stealing with the Seven of Swords. But this is not happening external to you. This is the thoughts, which are not you, by the way. So technically it is external to you, even though it feels like your own thoughts. You're being lied to about something with money or being trapped or not good enough in some way. But I love this. I always call this the lower octave of the devil energy, but the devil's not even showing up here. We have the death card. The death card, number 13 on Friday the 13th. Scary, but don't worry, because this is not a physical death. This is like energetic death of an old idea, an old project, an old way of being. And then the death of that way of being can be used as the fertilizer from which the phoenix is rising from the ashes. And I love that they actually included some sort of bird taking flight on this death card, because it's like death, ... Because something else is happening now. Something else is transpiring to actually have an awakening. It's a very judgment card, awakening vibes. So you're seeing the bigger picture of something after the ending or perceived loss. It's not actually a loss, though. It feels like this was always meant to be, whatever this is, Sandy. This was always meant to be, energetically speaking. Literally. But you also have a lot of power here, Sandy, to make things happen for yourself. So if there's something you're looking to change or manifest or create or revise, renew, recycle, change up in some way, rejuvenate, you're going to be able to do that. You may be met with some resistance because this is like, I'm in defense mode right now. Or this, I'm seeing like, and this is not maybe your exact scenario, but I'm seeing like a pipe burst or something, like a frozen pipe, and then it breaks the pipe, and now we've got water in the basement, like kind of vibe. Not saying that's what's actually going on or going to happen to you, but like just the fact that it was unexpected. And now it kind of feels like an emergency. Let's get this taken care of right away. But whatever this defense mode, I always call this a house fire card. Again, not saying that's happening. Not at all. Not at all. Because the guy's wearing two different shoes in the traditional depiction of this card. It's like he had to hurry and just throw on the closest thing to him and rush out the door and start defending. And that's whatever this change or shift is around the home might take you a bit by surprise, but it can also be mixed with projects that were maybe on the back burner. Now you're finding the time to do them. So it kind of feels like a mixed bag of things. But this is your outcome card. Everything's looking up. The water's drying up, he's just in that burst pipe example. Things are, that have been really stressful are drying up. The sun's coming out to dry up all the rain, and Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the spout again. Dried up all the rain again. That's what I always used to want to say, because went up the spout again rhymes with rain better than again. Sorry. Maybe you're getting some validation from spirit through different lyrics as well. But the whole premise of the song Itsy Bitsy Spider is about don't give up. Try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And I actually currently have a pet spider. His name is Gangnam Jeff. Yes, you heard that right, as in Gangnam Style. I don't know the dance, so I know the song, but I don't know the dance. His name is Gangnam Jeff, and he was on the plant when I bought it. We discovered him we bought him at the grocery store of all places, in the like floral department of the grocery store. We found this, I think it's called a rubber plant. It's like a mini rubber plant. It was only like $5.99. It was a really good price I got on the plant. Like I told you, I've like upgraded my whole plant situation. Like in the last few months, I've been like plant lover right now. But Gangnam Jeff, he was this teeny tiny little cat spider, like this big, like tiny baby cat spider. And he was just hanging out on the leaf, and we saw him, and I'm like, I'm taking this is the plant. I said, because before I went in the store, I'm like, if there's a plant for me, there'll be a sign somehow. And there was no action. It's not like I was like looking for a spider specifically, but the fact that there's a cat spider, which I love cat spiders, they're fun. I think they're fun. I don't know that I'd go up and quite maybe pick a big one up because they can look pretty intimidating. I actually have a video of a cat spider. I was talking to Jess, a solar siren, on a Zoom call, and I see something fly, and I see a wasp. It was a big wasp, flew right into this spider's web. This still feels relevant to your reading, Sandy, so I hope you're still listening. Let me go to videos. I'll find it quicker. I'm trying to get this as quickly as I can because this feels relevant for some reason, so I'm just going to roll with it. But anyway, I don't think I've ever seen a bug fly into a web and then the spider go get that web, you know? I don't think I've ever seen that in person, like live right then. I've seen spider webs where something was wrapped up. Okay, here it is. We don't even need the sound because there's no real sound to associate with this, but I'm going to play you the video. And she, no joke, she's this big, like she's a big girl, this cat face spider, I guess. And normally the ones I see around here are not just blonde like that, but they kind of have like tiger stripes on them, like darker brown tiger stripes. But look at her. She took this, and you know how big a wasp is, you guys. So in relation, let me move that back again. There she is dragging this wasp like it's nothing. And there's a fly, so you can see the difference. There's a fly, there's a wasp. You can see how big this spider is. And most people would be absolutely, nope, burn the place down, terrified. If this was any other type of spider, probably. But she was living in, she passed away. She left. I saw her web disintegrate in September. It made me so sad. But she was living in my clothesline, like the thing that stores the line when you're not using it. She was living up in there. Which I guess would terrify someone who hates spiders, but I like cat spiders. So long, weird, boring story short. Gangnam Jeff, he started out this tiny little, he's growing right now. He's downstairs, he's on my plant. Not only one plant, he has branched out. I bought a Monstera plant, which I have had my eye on a good, like I've wanted a Monstera plant for a while. And I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. It's spelled like monster and then an A on the end. Monstera. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I think they're beautiful. They also, I think, call them Swiss cheese plants because the leaves kind of get, and the Seven of Pentacles in this deck has a Monstera, or however you pronounce it. So I'll try to find that as I talk. But Gangnam Jeff left this tiny little rubber plant and bridged the gap between the space of the Monstera and the rubber plant. And he's got a whole, like he's getting all these little gnats that like to fly around my plants, which I think aren't good for my plants. So I love having Gangnam Jeff there to take care of all the flies in business that don't belong in my plants. So like it's a win-win. There's a Monstera. See how the leaves, and some of them, like the newer leaves or the baby leaves, don't really have the holes in them. And sometimes the like edges will stay connected, but it's a really beautiful plant. But yeah, I'm like, but what I'm seeing for you, Sandy, getting back to your reading, I mean, this is all part of your reading, but full circle moment. It feels to me like something you've been waiting for. You're bridging the gap. You're now finally going to be able to make a move forward on something you've been trying to do for a while, or something you gave up on, or something that felt so out of reach is now becoming possible for you. All right, so let's see what else Sandy needs to know. And I do see that a lot of this, like that time frame I got earlier was like 2 weeks, or I think that's what I said. Whatever you might have to go back. It's been a minute. Go back to whatever that time frame was, but I actually see this going between now and even your solar return. And correct me if I'm wrong, Sandy, I think your birthday's February 8th or somewhere around there. Happy early birthday. But let's just see for Sandy, anything between now and then. Oh, guardian angel. So we have some higher power protects you from difficulties and misfortunes. Trust your guardian angel. And this can be your own spirit. It doesn't have to be anything external to you. You know, whatever feels good or resonates for you, take that message. So we have guardian angel, you're being protected, and then surprise! And there's the birthday cake. I was seeing your birthday time frame between now and your birthday, and especially around your birthday. There's something that is finally manifesting, finally moving through. You're like, hallelujah, like so excited about something. And it says an unexpected turn can bring a positive change. Be ready for change. And we were tuning into that death card. That old energy passing away is acting as the fertilizer for this new beginning or this new big change for you. So there is a big change, a big shift, and it might at times, even the changes we want to make in life, I always say this, you guys hear me say this all the time, even the changes we're excited to make and do can feel a little scary in the moment and that we're going through the changes, or a little bittersweet at times, like a graduation is like exciting and wow, we made it, we did it. But then there's knowing that we'll never have these same days back with our classmates. For some people, they were like, hallelujah. It's the second time I've said that. Because I hated school. But then there were other people that were like, these were my glory days. I was somewhere in between. Like, it was kind of a bittersweet time for me. But it was because I just couldn't picture myself not being a kid living at home. And it's such a weird, and it is kind of your North Node, South Node return time as well when you graduate high school for most people. Yeah, it happens about 18.5 months is how long it takes the North and South Node to transit all the way around. So it can be a weird time for people, good and bad. Let's just close out Sandy's reading. I know it was a long one, but for some reason I feel she needed this. She needed this longer reading. Yeah, I just saw the hangman as it kind of flip up, but it didn't come out. So if you're feeling stuck right now, Sandy, just you wait, because look, you're going to be able to move forward on something very tangible, very concrete, new beginning, new opportunity, new project, new. Maybe literally planting new seeds. I'm seeing a lot of nature going on here. And there was a garden. You had the four of wands in this deck, and there was like 4 pitchforks, like a garden. So seeds you're sowing now will come to fruition or plant. Maybe not literally. I think you're living in the more mountainous states as well where there's snow. So more figuratively than literal message here about planting seeds and then watching them grow. But as I'm saying that, look at that. Those look like seeds, even though they're cups. They look like seeds, and then you've got the bounty, reaping the abundance and harvest. So it almost feels like there's going to be multiple times where you're harvesting from something you've already planted or are very soon planting, Sandy, that's going to really take off for you. All right, you guys. Well, I think, let me just double check our donations to make sure I'm caught up. No, we have Pam. Pam is also donated for a reading. So I'm going to timestamp just, I haven't seen her say hi yet, so I want to make sure. So we're at 122. And Julie's video is here. Hi. 122.38. For Pam. Pam. Okay. We're tuning in for Pam. And of course, I still have my 2 past life decks out because I've just been leaving this table out and kind of loving just having all my cards like right at hand's reach without having to go dig them out from the shelf. I've been loving that. And I got both of these on Amazon, if you're wondering, what is this? This one says Past Life Oracle Cards. It's got like a holographic. And then this one is Uncover Your Past Lives. I've had really great luck with these to really tune in. And they're very validating. I'm already like tuning into lives, and then boom, these just really validate things. Okay, for Pam. Tuning into Pam's true spirit, something that's most in alignment, that you're going to get the most benefit out of from a past life. What does she need to know right now about a specific past life? I mean, did you ever have a life where you weren't some sort of medicine man or woman? Or a healer of some kind, or very creative and very tuned in, tapped in, very fairy, very ethereal realms? Yes. So, but actually we're taking a turn back over toward the US part of things. This is very Native American. And this feels to me, this is like 13 something. And I don't know the way they've changed like AD and BC, but this feels like 13 AD. And of course they've changed the calendar since then. So I guess as far as the actual dating of this and being able to know things, I guess that would remain to be seen. But I actually see this life up in like Montana area, but I do see this like travel or like what's the word? Migration. like a migration. Oh, leaving or travel. Okay. We've got a big pyramid here, but leaving or travel. So there was a reason okay, so it had to do with the weather or the cycles, the seasons, cycles. It's really interesting because I don't know that I've ever, and my logical brain's like, wait a second, that's not right. But yeah, my spiritual part of me is overriding the logical, like, I don't think that's a thing. But I'm seeing leaving a tribe. You're part of this tribe as the shaman, the medicine woman, and it's a woman. You're a female in this life as well. You're leaving, I'm seeing like Montana, Idaho border, but kind of south of where I'm at is where I'm kind of starting this origin story, which I can't name a tribe that's down that way. But again, it's my logical brain is like, wait, what? This is something undocumented. And it's weird because I just heard Cree tribe, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're more south, Midwest, Southwest, sorry, Southeast maybe? I don't know. Again, I'm not my strong suit with all the geography and stuff, but I'm hearing Cree tribe, but these were like ancestors to what we know as the Cree tribe that were actually a combination of a couple different tribes. I'm hearing the details aren't important, so I'm just going to keep moving. Whatever. So I'm seeing like Bitterroot, Montana, which was like south of where I'm at right now, the Bitterroot Mountains, the Bitterroot Valley, but the Cree tribe. God, it's gonna bother me. Like my spiritual side's like, move on, Amanda, but my like human brain is like, no, I want to know where is the Cree tribe from? Because I don't think they're in this area whatsoever. But for some reason, they're showing like a branching off of the Cree tribe that came this way, wherever the other origin of them are. Let me just see. Cree tribe location. I normally don't Google in the middle of reading. I mean, it's been known to happen. No, they are up. Saskatchewan. But like I was seeing more east, not so much west. Very interesting. Yeah, so this is like Ontario, Saskatchewan. I guess they did dip a bit into Alberta. But I'm actually seeing them. This is like the ancestors to a lot of what's going on that way. Oh, they do live in Montana. Okay, see, I had no idea. Look at that. Answered my own question. Because we have like the Flathead, the Blackfoot, the oh gosh. Those are the two main ones that you hear all the time about over where I'm at. Yeah, and Chippewa as well. Chippewa people. But I guess Cree. Okay, so what I'm getting in my awareness is adding up. It's just I for some reason thought but what I was seeing was a territory and it being more southerly, like the south part of it, and then the east, which I guess also can pertain to the Canadian part of it. So that makes sense because I wasn't actually seeing the United States. That was just my logical brain assuming that. So this is why you trust your spiritual guidance, not your brain and thinking, no, that doesn't make sense. I'm actually glad that no, that doesn't make sense, went and Googled to sit my ass down and just let my spiritual side take over. Okay. So I did see you traveling south, which makes sense. Remember, because it would have originated up there, but where we're starting your story, I'm getting to the point today. I'm taking my time, I guess, to get to the point. Is going even further south and traveling down. I'm seeing Colorado, but I'm seeing like kind of down the border of Montana and Idaho and down into Wyoming, but then kind of going across Wyoming and down into Colorado, which is interesting. Why is this what's coming up for Pam? Let's get into this stuff. Why is this now that we've established, we're just getting established, so it's going to be a second. I guess Pam gets a longer reading today. I mean, she did send a very nice donation, so we're going to take care of you. All right. What does she need to know about this life? Ooh, murdered. Yeah, there was a trauma. There was a murder. You weren't the murderer. It says murderer, but I heard, no, you got. And I probably shouldn't be saying those words because algorithms are like, they said a bad word. People are saying unalive now because you can't really say these words so much. So I probably should be quiet on that. But all right. So how is this affecting Pam in this life? Why is this affecting Pam? What's going on with this? Why point this one out? Okay, that's why. Because there's a psychic wounding associated with having to achieve something, which I know maybe doesn't make quite sense. Like, well, why did me having this high achievement and being held as a very respected member of the tribe, how is that affecting me achieving in this life? Well, we're going to get into that. That's where we've arrived, and that's why this specific past life needed to come through. Why this past life? And no, we're using this deck I just heard. So we're moving on, moving over. Why this wounding as a result of just that achievement? Why is this still following Pam, or how is this playing out in Pam's life here now? Something with your ideas, or getting certain ideas off the ground, or just feeling like you have the resources or support, I guess, to make dreams reality. Yeah, dreams. Yeah, this is about making dreams a reality and not feeling at times like you have the support to be able to do that. Yeah, especially when it comes to family, or I'm seeing like extended family, like having some sort of community, or what it's giving is like sanctuary or commune without the cultiness, So I don't know if that is something that you've aspired to do, is have some sort of like big land where people who you are very connected to could all live on the land and have like a community where everyone is, it's like for the betterment of everybody, but yet every individual person, which we tuned into this in our collective reading earlier. So this is very interesting. This is coming through for your reading, Pam, where everybody's voice was heard. Everybody could be themselves without feeling ostracized or shunned, that just everybody could get along, as much as a group of people can ever get along. But everybody's working together to help themselves, yes, but also everyone else. Yeah, this is like giving sanctuary vibes, big time. But just wondering, how do I move forward with this? Because this is a card of movement and making something, getting the idea and then finally taking action on it. This is where the stumbling point in this life has been. Like, where would I have someplace like that? If that's even something that you're wanting in this life, but this is what this feels like. It could even involve horses. I don't know if you have I, for some reason, think we've tuned in that you had a strong connection to horses and maybe wanted horses or land to have horses. I want to say that was you, that we've tuned into that before. So this past life is coming forward to help you realize, if this is a dream in your heart, it's not by accident, or it's not because we're going to taunt you with it in this life. La, 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 you want this, but you can't have. No, this is potential to have this in this life. And that's why this wounding, this past life specifically, is coming forward, because you're moving forward with it. Literally a horse-drawn carriage. I know in this deck it's a little sea monster looking dude, but in the traditional depiction, it's still not horses, but it's like, what are you choosing? Are you going to go this way, or are you going to go this way? But whatever choice you make, beautiful part of the chariot is whatever choice you make was the right choice. And for you to be able to move forward on your big dreams, your big goals in life, going in the direction of your dreams. And every time that you are trying to make a major life-changing decision, ask yourself, is this decision going to take me toward my dreams or away from my dreams, or just not really affect my dreams at all? And even it not affecting your dreams at all, is it a good choice because it's not taking you toward your dreams? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, whatever choices, life choices, big decisions you're making in life, you're going to ask yourself, is this going to take me closer to or further away, or just kind of keep me on the needle of my dreams, my greatest hopes in this life? All right. Anything else we can tell Pam about this past life and why it's coming through right now and what it means for her future? The moon. And this really is about trusting your intuition, really leaning into your subconscious mind, maybe even doing some sort of shamanic journey. I mean, you were a medicine man or woman, woman in this life, but I know I've tuned into other past lives for you where you were like a medicine man, but for just, gender roles or stereotypes, let's just say shaman, that could be male or female. All these shamanic lives you've led, you have the ability to do shamanic journeying, shamanic traveling. You absolutely do. So it's just about, and you don't even have to do it. You don't have to pick up a guide on how to be a shaman or anything like that. Just feel into your own I am awareness and go on the journey and allow whatever wants to unfold. And it's going to be helpful to use actual drumming music. There's something about the beat of the drumming, and especially at a specific, distance between drum beats. You can check out, there's a YouTube channel called The Honest Guys, and they have a shamanic drumming. I think it's like a 1 hour or a 3 hour video. They have both actually. But The Honest Guys shamanic drumming video, and you don't have to watch it. You're going to do like a meditation with it. But this could be life-changing to be able for you to just tune into these gifts that are there. They're very there. They're just dormant or just kind of hibernating away right now. But you can absolutely unlock these gifts. Yes. Back of the deck energy staring at me in my lap. Page of Cups. This is surprising. Like absolutely blows you away. Surprising how much information about your future, about your present, about your past you can get by doing a shamanic journey. Even if you don't know how. I don't even want you, not just me, but spirit, your own spirit too, don't even want you to go Google, how do I do a shamanic journey? Just get into a meditation and close your eyes, do whatever protective measures, a lot of people, me included, like to protect my energy while I'm doing any kind of journeying or meditating. I always just protect my own energy. And then just intuitively allow yourself to be led by your own spirit, your own, the guide I work with in my shamanic journeys is my own self from a past life who was a shaman in like the Ecuador area, modern day Ecuador. So I use my own past life as a guide to help me get in where I need to go. And I did these journeys before I really knew much about what is even a shamanic journey entail. And I was just blown away. And I've since done a lot more investigation, research, reading about shamans and shamanic practices and stuff, but not all of it even resonates with me. I mean, I'd say probably only about 50% of it really resonates with me as something I bring into my own practice. And that's the thing about shamanism, whether you're just doing it for yourself or you're doing it as a healer to help others, there's no rule book. You don't have to follow all the ancient practices or, you absolutely can, but you don't have to. You can upgrade it to today's times, to whatever your unique energy signature is in this life, Pam, for your own healing. You can absolutely, because you are a healer. We've tuned into this plenty of times for you, Pam. You are a massive, amazing healer. It's just kind of giving that Chiron energy of wounded healer. Like, I can help everyone else, but how do I help myself? And that, I guess, is where you can start this journey, is go into your journey asking how you can help yourself. Yeah, it's beautiful. So I hope that resonated, Pam. But yeah, you are a healer. You're a medicine man, a medicine woman, a shaman, very tied to the like elemental realms, the fey realms, the interdimensional realms on this planet. You're very attuned, especially when you were a child. But now you have like the wisdom and knowledge, and you will continue to gain more wisdom and knowledge to know how to use those gifts as, yourself presently and into the future. Thinking about buying land today and have dreams of riding a horse in an open field. Boom, mic drop. Because that dream was placed on your heart, because it's potential for you. It's possible for you. You just have to choose. And I know this sounds trite, like, oh, just choose it and it's yours. Like, we've been talking a lot around here about the law of assumption. And for you to get in your Delulu girl era without actually being delusional, check out the Rosie Life. She's here on YouTube, and it's Rosie, like the word rose with a Y, life. The Rosie Life YouTube channel. And she gives you all these different people she works with, stories on how they're manifesting. You don't have to change your beliefs. You don't have to heal. You don't have to script or meditate or reframe things. You just declare, I am God, because you are. We all are fractals of God having these human experiences. We just forget all the time. I forget all the time I'm God. I forget all the time that, annoying neighbor is God. But then I remind myself, and then I can step into my I am awareness. So check out the Rosie Life. Her whole channel is a game. I don't even care where you start. Just allow yourself to be intuitively led, maybe in her playlist or something, or just look at her latest video, whatever resonates most. But you can't go wrong. I don't think I've seen a video on her channel yet that wasn't inspiring into how to get into your own manifestation power without having to do all this work, as she calls it, the do. Everybody out there doing the do. Do. Just be still and know that I am God. And that's, as I discovered her channel and was kind of getting into this, I was at Goodwill and I found this book, Ontological Mysticism. This was from Goodwill, and I just, as I do in Goodwill, this is the best test. Read the back, sure, whatever. No, I just go in and do some book divination, kind of do this, and then I turn to a page. Well, at the time, it was page 110, 111, which I'll get to now. And it says, I'll read it and then I'll show you. God is absolute authority. The only way I could create the illusion of being something other than God was to abrogate my authority as God. And then it says here, be still and know that I am God. And this is not, talking just about this Christian God. It's God, meaning the true source, the source creator of all that is. Post and pre-matrix that's put over this place, post and pre-matrix. That God. That's the God we're talking about. Not that guy in the sky that's trying to judge everybody for their sins and blah, blah, blah. I feel like we do enough of our own judgment to really cover those tracks. But yes, looking into that can really help you get in alignment with what it is you want. And that's half the battle is, we think, well, life, I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to be this person for this person, and I got to be here for that. It's about when we get that real strong clarity about who we are, what it is, what do we want? A lot of us know what we don't want, right? I mean, that's pretty easy usually. Not for me. Don't want that. But when it comes to actually knowing, like on a cellular level, what is it I want? A lot of people are either scared to admit what they want or they just don't know. But if you can get crystal clear clarity on what you want, even if you don't know the exact details of everything, you don't have to get crystal clear clarity, but just at least knowing a direction you want to move, like picturing yourself riding that horse in the open field and knowing you're going to have land. That's pretty much your roadmap right there. I think you've got it at least partially figured out. And that can be your roadmap to get you there. Oh, hello, Shania Prime. It's been a minute, hasn't it? Good to see you. Oh, you sent money. Okay, well, we have 2 donations, it looks like. Yai or Ya. I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. My apologies. But you sent for a full reading, and then we have a 1-card pull, which, let's be honest, for Shania, it's never just 1 card. So we're going to get you guys going here. I just did a longer reading for Pam because she always donates above and beyond. So I wanted to make sure I took care of her. And of course, Sandy also donated above and beyond as she does. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. All right, let's get into Yai. Okay, so is it Yai or Ya? Is it like Yaira? Yaira? I want to almost call it Yaira. Apologies. But yeah, go ahead and post your question, my dear. We're going to get right into it for you. Yeah. And welcome to the channel. Good to have you here. So we're going to clean up from Pam's reading and get in the mode for Yaira's reading. I hope I'm saying that right. That's perfect. Oh, yay. All right. So get all these put away. And Pam, I hope that resonated for you. You're so welcome. As always, pleasure to read for you. I always love past life readings. They're so fun. So fun for me. And hopefully for you guys. They're so interesting. You just never know what's going to come out. Even if you've already tuned into some past lives, like we may be touching on those, but we may be finding new ones. Who knows? You never know. All right. All right, let's get into this. So I'm struggling a bit in school and to work up the motivation to keep going. I'm concerned I'm going to fail out and not sure if I should keep going or just leave the program. All right, let's tune in. And I always tune into your highest alignment, your highest timeline for your highest good that's in alignment with your spirit and your path. We don't want any outside interference from anything except just you and what's meant for you. So let's tune into that. True spirit for you, your highest timeline, your highest. Yeah, I can see there's been a lot of resistance because the cards don't even want to go together. And everything here tells a story. So, wow. So we're going now. So let's see what's going on with that. Yeah. So here we go. Yeah, I can really sense that resistance. And then the Three of Swords, it's like you feel like, oh, I'm breaking my own heart because I did want this at one point. Like I really wanted this. And then I got it. And it was okay for a while, but like now I'm like, do I even want this anymore? And like all the money I've already spent, all the money that's still left to spend to maybe waste if I feel like it's a waste, and it's just like a big jumble. But let's work through this with you because and my heart goes out to you because that's a hard, it's like, you're just like, why can't I just get it together? Because there is a resistance here for a reason. So, and I have chills. So it's almost like you are being redirected or guided in a new direction. So let's tune in what this is about. Yeah, this is the Queen of Pentacles. So if we boil her down to brass tacks, she is the lover, she's the mother, she's the doer, she's the giver. She's definitely the receiver as well. Like, bring it on, bring on the money. But I always like to call her the entrepreneurial queen. This is about being able to have your own business of some sort. And especially if that's a dream that's been in your heart for a minute, there's no accident there that you're feeling like, let me literally just break free from this program I'm in and just go a whole new direction. Even if you're not sure what that is yet, but this is speaking of brand new beginning, like just leaving it all behind, taking a leap of faith in a new direction. Because what I'm getting for you is what you've learned or what you've been through. There's been a very valuable lesson you've learned through this, even if you don't see it right now. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're going to look back and be like, I'm really glad I actually did, quote unquote, waste time in that program because I learned this. I found this thing out and, made certain connections with people. So this was not a waste. And let's just see what your best path forward is, because I do see you. Even if you did decide to finish this program out, even if it's a very, very focused program, meaning like my sister, she went to school for nursing, which is a very, very, you're focused on one thing, medical, healthcare. There's no like, oh, I could do this or I could do that. Very focused, and especially if that's what you're working with here, you just feel like that. I don't want that focus anymore. That's not where my focus is anymore. But let's just see what your best path is to. Oh, you're so welcome, Pam. Absolutely. Well, did you see what I just did there? Yaira, I just took this like deep breath and then let my shoulders droop before I was talking to Pam there. That's how this is going to feel when you finally make a choice. So 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is where you're currently at. It's like, I'm not here for it anymore. It feels like a struggle. It feels like pulling teeth. It feels like I'm dragging my feet through sand or trying to run while underwater. Just not here for it. And so your best path forward, because we've established this is current energy. Your best path forward from here. I'm going to pull a card. Is it best to stay in the program or is it best to move, kind of cut your losses and move a different direction? So is it best to see this thing out and stay in the program? Or is it best to cut losses and move in a new direction? Okay. You're either going to love this or you're going to hate this. You're not going to make a wrong choice. And that's kind of what's staring at me on the back of this other deck sitting here. This is about making a pretty big decision about your life and weighing the pros and cons. Like, do I do this or do I do that? It feels to me, Yaira, that whatever you decide to do was the right choice. And even if you see this program through, you're dragging your feet the whole way, but you see it through, you spend the money, whatever. I see at the end of that program, you're most likely not going into a field of work that's even associated with that program. So again, maybe some valuable lessons you're learning, because we do have the Empress here, because she makes the most of anything. She will make the most of anything. So there's nothing you're going to lose by staying in, but there's also nothing you're going to lose by going a new direction, because this is the card for the new direction. This is King of Pentacles. We were tuning into that Queen of Pentacles earlier with the Oracle of Pentacles here. But look at this. You have the King and Queen of a suit. This happens sometimes, but this is pretty rare. You can get a King and a Queen in a reading pretty often, but to get a King and Queen of the same suit in the same card reading, that's pretty major. And what I'm seeing is your best bet most likely is to go your own way. Before you fail out and you're just already over this program, to just whenever it is that you're ending it, you're walking away. But I see you walking away on a high note. So it's almost like if you're still like, if you're done with the semester, then you can walk away, be done if you choose. But if you're already kind of partway into because I don't know how they all work nowadays, but back when I was in college, there was 2 semesters of a school year. I think now some colleges do trimesters, and I did a couple summer sessions and stuff. So depending where you're kind of at a stopping point, like if you have finished the semester, and you're thinking, well, I mean, I could go, but it's weird though, because I actually see you doing one more semester. So even if you're kind of wrapping one up now or recently did, I see maybe you're in the spring finally deciding. It's like you're maybe just a little bit afraid to cut it off right now for whatever reason, which is okay. Because again, I don't see that you're out anything if you continue on a little bit. But hey, if you're more than ready to just be like, I just needed that like green light, then you do what you feel you need to do to leave or to keep going, whatever it is. Because you can't really make a wrong choice, which I know you came here for guidance and for maybe me to say, okay, this is definitely the clear winner here. I don't know that I can give you that, because this is coming from you, directly from you. Because you can't make a wrong choice either way. But just knowing, maybe this is what you really are getting from this reading, is just knowing that if you do decide to walk away from the program, that there's nothing wrong with that. And you're going to be just fine, if not really good, because you've done that. But let's just get some additional guidance, just anything Yaira needs to know about continuing on, walking away, whatever this looks like, just to give her some hope and excitement for the future. Yeah. You don't have to make a choice right this second, because this is slow and steady energy. So you're slowly building towards something, or slowly pulling your energy back to move in a new direction. So there's no real hard and fast rule that says you have to stop right now, or you have to see it all the way through. Again, you're in the driver's seat here. So you're going to decide, do we go this way? Do we go this way? Or do I kind of just sit here a minute and really weigh the pros and cons, or feel into my heart, or ask my guides, or, whatever it is that you're going to do. Especially if you are at kind of a holiday break point, especially a lot of colleges will have the semester break around the holidays. Especially if you're there now, I don't see that you have to rush to make a choice. Like that decision is just going to, I see it like a sun rising, and then I see the sun kind of rising behind it's like that voice from within, because the strength card is like that internal strength, your spirit coming online to really guide you and direct you in a way, this way or that way. But what I see is your spirit coming online, and you're going to get very clear, yes, Page of Pentacles, very clear signs that you're going to be able to not miss these signs. They're going to be very in your face. They may even have to do with the sun symbols, sun symbolism, because we have a sun. It's not a sunflower, but the center of it looks like a sun to me, even though it's a coin. It looks like a sun. And flowers like daisies here, I think this is a daisy, and sunflowers, they really love the sun. They love being in the sun. So maybe even literally you, Yaira, getting out in the sun and just closing your eyes and letting the sun, warm up your face, and asking your guidance, inside you, outside you, most likely inside you, just asking that internal guidance to come forward and give you the answers. Even if those answers don't come through right like that, you're getting signs that are going to really help pave a path for you so you feel stable. Because what I see is You absolutely could do this, but I think that would stress you the hell out to just, bye, abandoning ship. Don't know what I'm doing with the rest of my time, but I know it's not this anymore. To me, that feels like you're too responsible of a person to just do that. And that feels way too stressful for you to just do that. So I think that's why this Knight of Pentacles is coming in to say, hey, even if you've made up your mind that you're leaving this program, you don't have to leave it right this second. You can still go through the motions and show up and do what you need to do in this program. And as you go, you're going to get clearer and clearer signs that, oh, I'm starting to see a path open up through the woods here. And it's becoming very clear. I can navigate my little horse and buggy here through the path. That's what I see here, because that's what's going to feel most comfortable to you. And that's how your spirit's going to bring it through. But you're already feeling, yeah, this isn't it for me anymore. And even if you don't know what that next path is looking like, it's being opened as we speak. Just you being aware that this is not your path anymore, and just putting that intention that my spirit is going to show me the path forward for my highest good, something I'm passionate about, something that really lights me up, that's exciting, that also makes me money. Even if you don't know what that is, you're just setting those intentions that that's the kind of thing I want to get into next. I know it's not this anymore. I'm going to stick around until I feel comfortable enough to go to the next thing, whenever and whatever that is. Let's just see if we can get a time frame. And I always say take a time frame from me or anyone with a grain of salt, because an action or a decision you make after the energy that we've tuned into today can completely shift the timeline or time frame. Because time's like a rubber band. It can sit still, it can stretch way out, it can contract again. So take this with a grain of salt, but on the timeline you're currently on, in the energy you're currently in, with the awareness you currently have, this is the time frame for you going a new direction. Okay. And this actually kind of lines up with what I was saying. If you're doing like spring, you're going to go into the spring semester. I think they call it spring semester most places. That starts like in January and goes till like May usually. And then usually you might have a different experience, but and then usually there's a summer break, and then you start back at school like maybe late August, early September, depending where you're going. So it feels to me like after that spring semester, you're going to know, not returning here, but yet I'm going this direction now, or this direction now. It's just not here anymore. So between now and June, you're figuring it out. You're figuring out your next big move. And especially if you have, family or friends or people in your program that are like, you don't want to do this, but like, what are you going to do? Like, I'm worried for you. Like, if they're showing up in that vibe, that's just stressful. So it's almost like you can maybe mention to people who are real near and dear and close to you that you're thinking of a new path, even though you don't know what that looks like. But you're still going to continue on the path you're on, just for your own security and to kind of keep maybe naysayers on the sidelines off your back, if that makes sense. Like, if you have family that are helping pay for college or something, that you don't want them to be like, why'd you just leave? You're still doing the thing until you're choosing not to. Yeah, that's right. You do want a path. You need a plan to be able to choose to leave. And that's really what's coming through, is that plan is going to be up in lights for you between now and June. But especially once you start that next semester, even if you're just like, I'm already over this, I don't want to be here anymore. It's like you just putting that effort in is showing the universe or God or your own spirit or whoever that you mean business, that you do care about moving forward, even if it's not on this path. So that path, though it may not be illuminated to you right now, between January and June, you are figuring it out and you're excited. It's exciting. This is not, well, I guess I could do that instead. I mean, I gotta do something. No, you're like, I have chills right now. Yaira, I have chills. This is something that you're like, why didn't I go this way before? This is always my path. What was I doing wasting time over here, over there, over there? This is it. I love this. You're figuring it out big time. Yeah. Oh, and financially for so long. Yeah. Oh my effing God. Girl, you're on fire. Yeah. I don't want to have a time frame. I just to know. Yeah. I just want to know what the heck. Right. Right. I know. I'm like, what is it? What is it? Seven of Cups. Okay, if you know anything about the Seven of Cups, it's like the possibilities are endless. This is the universe making a joke of this right now. It's like, we're not gonna decide for you, Yaira. You're gonna decide for you. But what I love, I always give people this. When this card comes up, I say the underlying energy of this card is it's a message of hope. Whatever it is you're seeking, searching, hoping to find, you're gonna find it and then some. So the fact this card is coming out, it lets you know the possibilities are endless. You have unlimited options. You are not limited to choose between the lesser of two evils or anything like that. No. Not even the sky is the limit when this card comes out. The only bad thing about this is the possibilities are endless. Confusion. What do I focus on? I don't know. Clarity is needed here, but that's what you're gaining over these next maybe 6 months. I wish I had a better time frame for you. But it really does feel like you're going to have the clarity before that semester's even over. Let's see. Maybe we can get a little hint on the next direction that Yaira is going. Oh. Ace of Swords is clarity, but Ace of Cups is emotional contentment and support. So whatever this is, they're not really giving us many spoilers here, but whatever this is, you're going to feel very emotionally invested and excited. This lights you up from the inside out. Whatever this next path is, it's veering off your current path, and it's going to become your main path. This path you're on right now is just going to kind of teeter off into the sunset, and you don't even have to worry about it anymore after a time. After a time. Yeah. All right. Closing statement. Anything else Yaira needs to know? Yes. Three of Cups. This is a celebration. It's a graduation, but not so much in the fact that you're maybe literally graduating in June. But what this feels like is you graduating onto your next endeavor. Like you're ready to start. You're ready to hit the ground running. You're excited. You have a path laid out. You're just so, like, the excitement is off the charts with this. So whatever it is, you're going to be so excited about. I'm excited about it. I don't even know what it is. And that's the thing. Because Spirit, I have my ways. I could find out what this is. I could. But they're not giving it to me. Because they want you to be surprised and excited and lit up and feeling like you're the one bringing this forth. Not like you got it from some random tarot lady online. You know what I mean? They want this to be a surprise. And by they, I mean, God, the universe, your own spirit, your own energy. Being an artist, it feels like it has to be creative, because when you're put in a box and we do things this way, and then after a while we do them this way, that is not your bag. That's not your vibe. You need space to roam and create and time, but yet paid. You need paid. Y'all need paid. You need it to pay. So it has to be creative. And it has to pay. Yeah. All right, closing statement for Yaira. You're going to figure this out, though. The confusion is real right now. But that confusion is going to balance out. And you're going to be able, once you get that idea, you're going to take it and run. This is the fastest card in the deck besides the Eight of Wands. We could argue back and forth, I guess. They're both about tied. They're nose to nose for which is the fastest deck in the card. But once that idea, that epiphany, that clarity comes in, you're off to the races and you are winning the Triple Crown, not just the Kentucky Derby. You're winning the whole thing, the Triple Crown. You're winning. And she's even wearing a crown, so look at that. And I have chills on my crown, so look at that. And it's leading to absolute emotional fulfillment. Yeah, confusion at all. I'm the same way. Well, I'm 42 years old and I still don't know exactly what I want to be when I grow up. I mean, I know it's a writer of some sort, an author, but also I love doing this whole tarot thing as well. So yeah. Whatever it is you're going toward, it's like cherry on top of the best Sunday of life energy here. Yeah, another sigh of relief, like relieved. So you're going to, between now and June, you're going to feel very relieved because something is just clicking. Something is clicking into place. And I can't say exactly how or exactly what that is, but you just follow the signs. When you feel lit up inside and excited and you get the butterflies about something, know that you're on the right track with something. So, and there's a big shift, like a big timeline shift coming in February for like the Human Collective that I've tuned into many times. And that is kind of a highlight month for a lot of people I've been reading for probably for the last 6 months or so. February 2025 is a big highlight. There's a big, like, global shift happening for the betterment of humanity. And it might just happen around that time. Yeah. And even though the timing of it isn't important, but yeah, when you just believe you deserve it is when you're going to tune into it. But it's, look, the goose with the golden egg, it is worth waiting for. All good things take time and eventually everything comes together. And it will. But don't wait for divine timing because you're the one in control. So just putting that, message out to the universe that, hey, I'm ready. What is my next step on this beautiful path that we uncovered today on this reading? What is this? Please enlighten me because I'd like to get started on it, please. I'd love to get started on it. And you're going to be able to because you're going to start to see the signs, symbols, synchronicities, just ideas popping into your head like, hey, I could do this. Hey, I could do that. And whichever ones are sticking and you really get that momentum with another sign about that. I saw another 222 today, or I saw 888, or, angel numbers and synchronicities and, oh, you bought a flower essence to help you. I love that because that's like a sensory trigger for you to understand that you're setting the intention to bring this next best path forward for you. Every time you use it, that's going to be a huge help for you. And we did have that like daisy looking, we also had like the sunflower as the sun in the back of this card we pointed out. And then there was that yeah, here it is. The daisy looking flower with the Ace of Pentacles there. Or it's a Page of Pentacles. But yeah, new opportunity. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love that. Yeah. It's happening. It's just a matter of when. When you believe you deserve it. Because you do deserve it. You deserve to feel lit up and happy about whatever it is you're wanting to do. You deserve that big time. All right, Yaira, I hope that helped. We went a little long on it, but I think so many of you that have booked readings today need just a little bit longer of readings today. So we're just Merry Early Christmas, everybody. Oh, yes! I have book 1 of a 6-book plus 1 companion novel series written. Book 1 is fully done. I have a couple more drafts to run it through, but it's pretty solidly where I want it as far as the plot and all the layers of it. I just need to pretty it up, Book 2 is in first draft up to 8,000 words or so into Act 3, so I do need to finish book 2. But I have I have so many, like it's mapped out in chunks and pieces. Some things are way more clear than others, but I know the direction I'm going. I just need to get on the path again. Get back to my writing. It's a young adult spiritual paranormal series set in the 90s. All sorts of woo-woo-ness going on. It's fun. I love it. But yeah, there's a lot of depth to it as well. So hope I can pull it off. All right. Much love, and I'm wishing you nothing but the best outcome for your path forward, Yaira. And again, I do apologize if I've been mispronouncing your name this whole time. All right, Shania, let's get into your 1-card pull, but you guys know me, it's never 1 card. Go ahead and post your question. You say here in the notes, yes, no question. So what would you like to know? We're gonna get right into it for you. I'm gonna take a quick drink of water. That's what I'm gonna do. We are 2 hours into this. I feel like we've been live like 15 minutes, maybe 20. Wow, time is weird right now, you guys. I'm loving this though. I'm having too much fun with you guys today. We're going deep. We're not just touching surface today. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that, Yaira. Absolutely. Yes. Invite the universe to guide you in for your highest good, to your highest timeline, for the highest outcome and best outcome for all. That's usually how I guide my direction in life. Because I don't want it to but here's the deal. When it usually benefits you greatly, it also does benefit humanity because you go into this higher vibration of higher potential for yourself, and that can only benefit humanity because then you're able to help others. Even if it's just leading by example, like, wow, she's really doing the thing. Maybe I can do that too. Like inspiring people. Even if you're not physically able to help people financially or whatever, if you can inspire people, that's great. You know? Let me put this candle out. It's getting to the bottom and I don't want it to get too hot. It's going to continue to bring us all abundance as we hang out and into the future. All right. Yes, no question for Shania. I hope she's still here. And John was here for a moment. Hi, John. And he couldn't stay long, so he probably already booked it out of here. Yeah. All right. So Shania, I really wished I could have gotten you, like, it's going to be this exact thing. But for some reason, it's meant to be for you to uncover and unfurl and unfold and bloom. It's like a blossom. It's like a tight bud, like a rosebud. And you're the one meant to just watch it blossom, whatever that exactly looks like. It is so good to see you again as well, Shania. So I met someone new, starting school in a month and potentially have to move. Is leaving my current situation behind worth it? And is this going to work out how I want it to? Yes, let's tune in. All right. Starting school in a month, met someone new, potential to move. So is leaving the current situation behind worth it? Let's get that answer out of the way very first. I see that it is. It's just going to take time and a bit of patience, but this is going to be leading to stability and security if you can do this. This is going to be worth it. It might take a minute for you to see that it's worth it because things may not look like they're really moving forward, or I made all these changes and it's like I'm 4 steps back from where I was. Like, it might be something like that, but in the long term, this absolutely is leading to spiritual growth and just you having this deeper sense of wisdom about how life works and how you work in this world. Could even have to be leading you to a new job. Yeah. Especially if you're moving, there's potential for a new job in this new area. But it's leading to spiritual fulfillment because the Hermit is all about the spiritual vibes. But let's just see, as far as, this is probably pretty stressful for Shania. So we want to make sure that this is her best path forward to leave this current situation and go a new direction. Yeah, it's going to lead to financial, like I'm seeing a new job. If you're starting school and doing these things, it's probably going to lead you, that next step. So amazing. Yes. And then is it all going to work out how you want it to? I just heard yes, but it's not gonna look exactly like you're leaning it out or laying it out. I'm seeing it actually working out better. But again, at first it's gonna look like, what did I do? This is not what I wanted. This doesn't look great. But yet parts of it are amazing. But it's just not the whole package you were hoping it would be. But wait, there's more. It's gonna turn out better than you're hoping. Just not exactly in, the step 1 to 10 that you're thinking, okay, first this. It might look a little different. And there's some outside factors coming in that you haven't even thought about. This could be people you're meeting. This could be, again, that job you're getting. More income. I'm seeing more income, more money. But let's just see if this is going to work out how she wants it to. As far as like the grand scheme, is Shania getting the answer she wants? Yes. It's going to work out how you want it to, just not maybe exactly how you think it's coming in. But look at all these pentacles. There's career development. There's like making money. There's, working at your school stuff and really getting ahead in, whatever program you're in or, major that you're taking. That's going to lead to something financially in your favor, anything else? Let's just see if there's anything else you need to know. We've answered your questions, but I don't want to cut it off yet. Let's just keep going. Anything else Shania needs to know about this basically new beginning for herself? Which this is exactly what this card talks about, is new beginnings, stable and secure. And look at the progression you have. I just noticed this. You're going to meet a lot of people who are helping you. Even if you don't work with these people, just you being in their energy, it makes you want to like strive to be like better in some way. But look at the progression. You go from, this is backwards for you guys, maybe. Wait, we go from the page to the knight to the queen. This is a level up. Level up, level up, level up. So you moving and kind of taking this leap of faith in this new direction, going to school, moving, all the things is leading to a big level up. Especially spiritually, but also in the material world. Like, this almost feels like a balance because this is a major arcana. So it carries a heavy weight here. So this almost feels like a balance between spiritual progress and like work, jobs, school, just being able to pay your way through life is really leveling up. But so are your spiritual gifts, just your spiritual connection to other people, meeting a lot of influential people who are going to help you along the way here. Anything else before we close out? Anything else Shania needs to be aware of? All right. So at times it may feel like I'm spending more money than I'm making, or I'm not spending any money because I'm trying to save as much as I can. This is a very dualistic card. So I'm going to get a clarifier on where you stand in that personally on this road ahead. Okay. Yeah. Most likely at times you're going to feel like it's kind of stressful. I do need to get a job maybe to pay for this and to do that. But this is actually leading you. This kind of stress of a financial crunch or pinch is actually leading you to all this good stuff here. That's what it's leading you toward, is you to take a leap or to put yourself out there in ways maybe you hadn't before or hadn't thought of doing to actually gain a lot more money or to bring a lot more cash flow in. And it's leading you to some like wish fulfillment here. There's some wish fulfillment. So it is absolutely going to work out. Like that end result is going to be what you want, but better. It may not be exactly how you had planned it though. There's like outside things that variables to this experiment you haven't taken into account yet. Yeah, I'm going to be financially struggling through school like most students, and I'm just really stressed and hopeful for this new potential relationship as well. Yeah, let's tune into that before we go. Let's tune into that. Let's switch decks. So we're playing with a full deck here. So, all right. Tuning into the new relationship. Woo. All right, yeah. And I can see that maybe the move is maybe stressing you out. Like, is this going to continue if I move? Or even if you are moving somewhere where this person is, or they're moving to meet you, it feels to me like they're going to move to meet you where you're at. The Six of Pentacles is about balance. So even if you're having to travel to meet this person, or I see you coming together eventually and being in the same area. Yeah, like happily ever after ending kind of vibe here. So things are going to be maybe a little difficult financially or just to get yourself established. But, and life has its ups and downs for sure. But this was in the wrong deck and it just came out. So as far as your relationship goes, there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of attraction. There's a lot of just chemistry and even spiritual connection, because wands really do deal in the spiritual realm as well. So I can see that this is a strong spiritual connection. If it doesn't feel spiritual right now, it's going in that direction. It definitely, there are spiritual connotations to this connection. So yeah, I just see maybe a little bit of stress over just getting everything going while being in this new connection. Starting anything new is already like, I gotta move. I gotta start a new school. I gotta get a new job. That's already stressful. But then when you're in a new relationship thrown on top, it's like trying to balance everything. And that really is the only issue I see, is just making sure you're keeping balanced. But the connection itself feels like really supportive, really beautiful. It's just the stress of, feeling like, am I doing enough? Is everything working out? And it's just slow and steady. It's that Knight of Pentacles, which I believe was the first card we pulled for you. So we're coming full circle. We're closing the reading out with the same card we drew. It's just called Champion in this deck for their own special naming reasons, but it's the same card. And this is slow and steady wins the race, because this is the most stable knight in the whole deck, but it takes its sweet ass time sometimes. So don't beat yourself up if you're not, fully realized or have everything figured out right away. Just allow yourself to grow and build, because you're building something here. Remember, you're going from one to the next, like stepping stones. You're leveling up, then leveling up, then leveling up again. This is leading somewhere really good. So this is your best path forward, is to take this leap in a new direction, moving, school, possible new job. You know, you're figuring it out. You don't have to have it all figured out now, because you're able and willing to figure it out as you go. And as you start to figure things out, it's like maybe right now, because what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is like, you start in LA and it's dark out and you're trying to get to New York. That's all the way across the US, right? So you start out in the dark, and maybe at first you just need to see maybe 200 feet in front of you with those headlights, just to feel safe and secure. So one step ahead, you're able to see one step ahead or know your next move. But maybe you don't know much beyond that. Maybe you haven't quite plugged that destination into the GPS yet, because you don't know what it is, right? Just for sake of example, it's New York. But then it starts to get daylight out, and now you can see way farther. So maybe you're like planned for like the next 5, 10 steps ahead. Maybe you still have 50 steps to go, but like, wow, that's a big chunk of it. And then maybe it turns dark again and you're like, okay, I think we're going this way. And, you know, maybe you only see the next step again. But as you continue to take steps forward and do the things you feel led to do, those next roadmap steps are going to be illuminated for you. See what I'm trying to say here? I hope you're picking up what I'm throwing down. So yeah, you're definitely progressing. You nailed it. Yay. I'm so glad. Well, I hope at the very least this brought you comfort, because this is leading to something you've always wanted. It really is. Something you've always wished for, or just what you're hoping to get out of you moving and having this new beginning. What it is you're hoping to get for it, you're going to get that and then some. Like, what you're getting out of this is actually much better than it feels like what you're hoping to get out of this is you almost just settling for something. And what you're actually going to get is like, blows your mind. It's better. It's even better than you're hoping for. So yay, Shania. It's so good to see you back here again. I'm wishing you nothing but the best of luck and good vibes and happiness on your new path and in your new connection. That's so exciting to have someone in your life. And it looks like there's going to be a lot more someones in your life, not romantically so much, but maybe meeting people at school, friends, acquaintances, coworkers, mentors, because this can be a mentor card, and this came out in your reading as well. Yeah, you're meeting new people who are really gonna up level your spiritual game, and you're up leveling their spiritual game as well, and physical world, like financial game as well, because there's the balance of the two. Awesome. Well, I think we've accomplished our donation list today. Yes, we have. So I'm gonna go have some lunch and go pick up my kiddos from school. It's Friday, everybody. Yay! A Y for yay. Normally it's V is for victory, but today we'll count the body as yay. Friday. All right, you guys, much love. I will be back here on Wednesday. Trying to remember, we're kind of getting into, not next week, but the week after, we're getting into Christmas vacation, kids home from school territory. So things might kind of go off the rails with our schedule a little bit during that time, but I don't anticipate that Wednesday will move to the daytime. If anything, Friday might move to the evening, just because with kids home and whatever. Yeah. Oh, Sandy's back. I did your reading. I have a timestamp here. I was like, fingers crossed. I hope she's just looking for a general. A lot of stuff came. We went in, and it's a long reading, so I'm sorry about that. You could probably listen to it on 2 times speed. I always apologize, but then if it were me in your shoes, I would want a long reading. Like, I think that'd be cool. A lot came through, so. But Sandy, if you did have a very specific question that you weren't able to ask and I didn't touch on it in the reading, can you please email me and I will get you a response that way? Or we can carry it over. But I did go in on like whatever Sandy needs to know. But if that did not answer whatever question you had, feel free to email me. It's still the same email, dunphotodesign.com. There it is, boom. Yeah. And I will be there. No worries. I figured you had something important. I wasn't too concerned that you weren't showing up. I know you weren't just gonna leave for no reason. But yeah, thank you so much. As always, you're my go-to, and I've been waiting to ask this. So glad I got to get on your live today. Well, I'm so glad you were here as well. nothing brings me more happiness and joy in life than just spiritually aligning with someone and feeling like I helped them in some way. Like that is the main payment for me. I love that so much. Like, oh, she's good. Okay, well, hopefully you got, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff coming out in your reading, just random stuff, but hopefully it resonates. I'm going to timestamp that like in a minute. I already did my closing statements, I think, but yes, I will be back here Wednesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. That's our regular schedule. In case I get a migraine or I don't know, some random event is going on a Wednesday night that I don't know of yet, we might have to reschedule, but we'll play it by ear. If for some reason I have to reschedule, I will let you guys know on my community tab. For those of you that are more on a PC or a tablet, I think you have to go to my channel, then go to community tab. It does not just show up in the feed like it would on a mobile device for whatever. I think that's dumb. They should just put it in the subscriptions with everything else somehow, like they do on the mobile devices. But yeah, thanks again, you guys, so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here on Harmony Portal Tarot live. I will be back. And Sandy, I'm going to leave you that timestamp, but there it is. It's at 1 hour, 4 minutes, 31 seconds into the live stream. And then Pam, I'll also add your, and I'm going to pin it as the top comment right, like within a minute from now. So look for that if you don't remember that number. But all right. Much love, you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye. And then end again. All right, bye.